Now, we're here for the Hearthstone Battlegrounds Enli's Invitational number 1. This is the main event. I'll be casting again with Weatherlight, and our players will be very, very, very great players like CaraCute, Staz, Felinelure, Ebanezpoopoo, MACnavy, Gorebelly, relaxchill. So, how's your day, Weatherlight? Kumusta naman ang Sunday natin?
Okay naman, actually nga hindi ako makatulog na maayos kakaisip sa tournament ngayon. Very exciting. Yung mga personalities ng community natin, yung mga dati ng mga personalities and soon to be personalities ang mapapanood natin ngayon, 'di ba?
Oo, tama. So, yung iba dito, mga first time lang natin makikita na sumali sa Battlegrounds. Hindi naman first time kasi si like Feline Lure and Gia, they both compete on the AKG Games Team Challenge, although magkaiba. Si Feline Lure is from the number 1, si Gia sa number 2. Tapos si Staz naman, nakalaro naman na siya dun sa mga tournament ni Excelsior during Friday. Yung circuit, tama, di ba?
Mhm.
Ang di lang talaga
Tapos
na ang di lang talaga natin nakikita dito pala si CaraCute. Kasi nga,
actually si Kara, ninja 'yan. Sa international tournaments yan lumalaban ng Battlegrounds,
oo, kasi
'di ba?
bawal siya dito, ban siya sa local community scene eh.
Pero since invitational naman,
Oh, nakalusot,
content natin, 'di ba?
nailusot, oo.
So, paumanhin na sa ibang mga competitors, may pinapasok tayong halimaw, 'di
Oo, si
ba?
Hi YouTube. Ingat-ingat lang kayo dyan mamaya kasi baka ma-hi YouTube tayo. So, yun. Sino pa ba yung players natin? Yung apat na nag-qualify?
Actually, yan, sina McNavy, it's no stranger to the scene. He's been tearing up standard tournaments, beachy tournaments, kahit nga yesterday, pati
Oo,
duels
duels.
tournaments, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Nakachamba lang tayo sa kanya, pero
Oo,
'di ba?
naka 12 wins siya eh, di ba?
Lahat basta Hearthstone, master yan si McNavy. Tapos Ebanezpoopoo, recently lang rin na nagpaparamdam sa scene. Pero as far as I've seen how he plays, magaling. Magaling na si Ebanezpoopoo. And of course, si Papa Belly, becoming a new community favorite, di ba?
Oo.
Gorebelly, very talented player din.
Yung mga ano natin kasama sa community, parang laging, uy, si Gorebelly, talo na ako dyan, galing
Oo,
yan.
takot.
Lagi na lang may ano, parang debuff agad yung mga kalaban niya.
Actually, diba meron dyan kay Gorebelly, takot na takot ang community sa kanya. Basta kapag marinig si Gorebelly nasa table natin. So, talo na tayo, ayoko na maglaro. Diba?
Oo, yun na nga.
So, ano kaya?
Tapos
Diba?
yung ano, yung last natin, although supposed to be si Gia Magnolia, shoutout na lang natin si Gia Magnolia, but unfortunately, hindi siya available for today. Ang
Mhm.
pinalit natin is si Relax Chill na same naman sila ng scores last time, pero due to tiebreaker, si Gia Magnolia dapat. But eto, si Relax Chill. Also, one of,
relaxchill, Sir Iro TV,
Sir
correct,
Iro
diba?
TV,
Mhm.
ano rin,
Another
active din sa
streamer.
community ng Hearthstone Philippines. So, yun. Maganda talaga action to. Sana madaming manood. Sana mag-enjoy kayo. This will be 5 rounds of Battleground. So, pakita na natin yung rules and prizes. Simulan ko na. Alam naman natin, sa America server tayo naglalaro. So, yun. And the next one is, they will be playing 5 lobbies. So, dati, 4 lang ata yung mga usual natin. Like dun sa Community Challenge Series, 4 lang dun. But for this time, okay lang sa kanilang mag 5 lobbies. So, 5 lobbies tayo. And as you said, whether right, di ba, last time, mas maganda na add numbers yung um,
Odd
lobbies.
numbers
Yung
yung
rounds.
lobbies.
Yeah, yung rounds.
Kung pwede nga 7 lobbies, why not, diba?
Oo, pero
So,
syempre, kailangan din
syempre
natin
Sunday ngayon.
i-take into account na may Sunday family gathering, so dinner baka magkakasabay sila or lalabas or basta pandemic pala, so di baka lumabas yung mga yan. So yun, 5 lobbies lang. So before siguro 7 p.m. tapos na tayo kasi 3 o'clock naman tayo nag-start.
Mm.
Then
Hope-
yung
Hopefully,
sige
hopefully.
sige. So yung score distribution, whether like explain to them.
Uh, the first place in the lobby will get 7 points. Second place will get 6 points. Third place will get 5 points. Fourth will get 4. fifth will get 3, 6, 2, 7, 1, and last place will get 0 points. Tapos of course, for tiebreakers, the number first place or highest placement ang kukunin. So basically, if let's say at the end of the 5 lobbies, both players get 30 points, titingnan natin kung sino may pinakamaraming first place finish para ma-determine who will get the higher placement.
Yep.
Tapos sa second tiebreaker, highest placement on the last round.
So,
Diba? So kung
oo.
nag-tie sila na dalawang first place, pero yung isa second place, yung isa third place, doon sa final round, yung second place on the final round will get the higher placement.
Ano kasi tayo, forgetful kasi tayo. So, yung last round lang yung maalala natin. Oh, yun na agad yung panalo. Kaya yun yung second
Pero
tiebreaker.
syempre, yun ang pinaka-sweaty rin na round,
O
diba?
kasi yun yung
It's a very, very
magbakbakan sila
final
eh.
round.
Oo. So, dito naman, next is prizes. Napaka-generous ng prizes natin dito. We have food partners also. So, eto, simulan ko na. Champion, 2,000 pesos plus goodies from R39 and Baking Racks. So, sa Route 39, shout out to them. Weatherlight, baka naman.
Shoutout din nga kay Route 39. Actually, very interesting, di ba? Like, I just received the package. Sa hindi mahulog, pero papakita ko ngayon. Oh,
Wow!
may 110 Japanese note pa. Pero
Buti ka pa.
i-abuse natin siya. Paki-translate naman. Diba? Nababasa ko lang siya yung pangalan ko.
Baka
Pero
nakalagay
yes,
dyan, enjoy your snack. Hindi ko alam. Basta yan.
baka, di ba, pogi si Enli ang nakasulat dito.
So, ano yan? 1 GC of that onigiri set. So, may 6 na dyan. 6 na parang spam or karage or
Pakita
salmon.
natin,
Yan. O, di ba
Diba?
tinatakam kayo ni Weatherlight? Siya lang meron ganyan. Ako wala ah. Siya lang meron ganyan. So, yan. Isang ganyan. Isang box. Plus, yung sa Baking Racks. Although, wala tayong product from Baking Racks kasi sa Cavite yun, mahirap magpa-deliver. Lugi tayo sa courier fee.
Kailangan daw manalo ni Staz para madali lang ang delivery.
Pag si Staz ang nalo, immediate yung Baking Racks. Pero yun, thank you sa R39 and Baking Racks for those pledge for this tournament. So the second one would be 1,200 pesos plus yun, GC again. Then Baking Racks goodies. Nakalimutan ko pala, yung Baking Rack goodies for the champion would be yung banana cake. Sobrang sarap ng banana cake niyan kasi may walnuts and chocolate chips. Then for yung sa second would be parang although this is not paid sponsorship or partnership with ano nga bang kainan yun? Limot ko na eh. Yung parang hindi mini stop. Family Mart na double choco chip cookies. Parang ganun lasa or parang Subway. Ganun yung datingan nung kay Baking Racks. Tapos may three crinkles. Tapos sa third naman, 900 pesos plus 9 crinkles. Pero again, if you're not from Manila or even Cavite, immediate delivery mo yung tipong next day or 2 days from now, pwede. Pero pag ibayo kayo ng Pilipinas, pwedeng i-pass down nyo na lang yung napanalunan nyo dito or pag pumunta kayo sa Manila, pwede naman, di ba?
Pero balita ko isa sa mga contestants natin, yan si Felinelure, mahilig yan sa Baking Racks. Diba? For sure, i-check out niya yan pagkatapos ng tournament na to.
Teammate naman namin si Bato TV, si Lily last time sa Challenge Series. So, might as well, baka gusto niya talagang matikman yung Baking Racks, no? So, yung 4 to 8.
Solid yan, kumbaga.
4 to 8, Weatherlight.
4
yeah.
to 8, fourth place will still get 700 pesos. Fifth will still get 6. Sixth will get 500 pesos. Seventh will still get 400. And lastly, 8th place will still get 300 pesos. So, very generous talaga. So, ensured na may makukuha mga participants natin by just participating in this tournament.
Oo. Talagang dito, na makapasok ka lang dito, guaranteed meron ka nakukunin. Kasi, syempre, kahit ikaw qualified players, although yung qualified players, pinaghirapan nila pumasok dito. Yung itong mga invited players natin, alam ko, mga minimum 12k MMR ata itong mga, especially, si Felinelure, di ko alam. Ano naman ang current MMR niya. But before, di ba, parang umabot ata siya, nag-peak ata siya ng 11 something before reset.
Mga 12k MMR yan, pero sa Wild Rift.
Walang MMR dun. Ano ba? So, eto, balik tayo sa caster view and siguro establish na yung lobby. Okay na ba? So, tatanong natin, si Mr.
Start
MACnavy
natin.
nga pala yung party leader. So, yun. First na spectate natin would be Staz. Kasi si Staz yung highest MMR dito sa Philippines if I
Actually,
personally, if tama yung alala ko.
wala pa daw si Felinelure according to Mr. MACnavy. And pwede pa request kay Staz to add me up as well.
Sige. So, si Felinelure na lang daw missing sa lobby and asan na si Staz? Paki-accept si Weatherlight. Okay. So, yun. Si Weatherlight ang unang makakatikim how delicious the goodies from Route 39 pero
Mamaya
ako
ba natin kakainin on stream?
pwede naman pero nakakain naman ako before.
HS Tourney stream / mukbang ba tayo mamaya?
So, siguro mamaya mga pag during quick break. So si Felinelure missing in action. So sabi niya pala message siya game na. Si Mr. Felinelure baka naglalagay pa ng karne sa dito grilling plate niya.
81 friend request from Staz. Ano nangyari? Ano to?
That's bug. Bug ata, hindi dapat full.
Nagulat ako puro Staz
Ganyan din sa akin last time. Pero ito, nakita ko na mag-o-online na si Felinelure and we're gonna be seeing the first game of this tournament. Pero before that, mag-post muna ako sa Twitter baka kasi may gustong manood nitong Battlegrounds community tournament natin. Especially we have personalities like Staz and Gia. Staz as former Grandmasters and Gia as a Hearthstone Grandmaster caster. 'Di ba? And kilalang kilala yung dalawa sa Hearthstone scene. Might as well
Baka naman po, pwede po pa-plug kami ni Enli.
share it on the Twitter. Saba. Tingnan natin. Wait. Ano sabi ni MACnavy?
Shoutout to Madam Cara. Ang bait-bait ni Weatherlight today. Hindi makabasag pinggan. Hindi nyo lang alam, nakabasag na ako ng pinggan kanina.
So, eto, magge-game na tayo and I'm very much excited. Di ko alam kung natuloy ba pagbili ng Battlegrounds perks ni Felinelure but kanina he's trying
Tumakbo pa nga daw siya ng
he's trying to
7-Eleven.
cram to buy a Battlegrounds perks para sa tournament na to kasi gusto niya mandurog. And daw, durugista pa na to si Felinelure, no?
Actually, nag-start na ang lobby nila, Enli. So, mag-switch na tayo sa
Sure. So,
tournament view.
as promised, let's go for Staz. Let's go. This is Staz playing.
So, si Staz picking Millhouse Mana Storm.
Millhouse Mana Storm with di ko nakita kung ano yung tag dito. Ang band out.
Very, very interesting na the first hero na suspectate natin kasi Millhouse Mana Storm is actually one of the more difficult heroes to play sa Battlegrounds kasi iba ang resource management niya.
Oo.
You buy minions for 2 gold as opposed to other heroes buying it for 3. Pero ang drawback is para mag-roll ka 2 gold instead of 1.
Yep. Pero may elemental naman, di ba? Walang elemental so walang free
elementals
refresh.
and dragon. So interesting na ito ang pinili ni Staz. It's not the lobby for Millhouse. Preferably you'd want sana as Millhouse Manstorm na available ang dragons. Because that's his very, very high roll comp, kumbaga. Pero a really good opener for Staz here, having that Swabi to reduce his tier up cost and being able to sell it and get another tier 1 minion.
So roll call muna tayo ng lobby. Weatherlight,
Yes,
please
so
do
si
the
Staz
honors.
playing Millhouse Manstorm, Gia as Galakron, Felinelure as Rafam, MACnavy as Keltas, Gorebelly as Sindragosa, Ebanezpoopoo surprisingly playing King Mukla, diba? And Madam CaraCute playing Deathwing and relaxchill using Omu.
So, sa palagay mo, sino yung may, yung tatlong high roll potential hero dito sa lobby natin?
The hamak, first of all, would be Galakron. As we already know, in this format, Galakron is king, kumbaga. Pero still, a lot of things could go wrong while playing Galakron, so hindi pa rin talaga sure, diba? It's either you really, really high roll the lobby or you might fizzle out. And apart from that is, syempre, there's Omu that could get into the higher tiers very early as opposed to the rest of the lobby. Tapos, syempre, si Milhouse Manstrom is also no joke kapag maganda ang mga binibigay sa kanya initial shop. It could get really out of hand. Tapos, lastly, siguro si Rafam to round out the top 4. Pero ang interesting rin kasi sa lobby na to is the presence of King Mukla kasi pampagulo yan eh.
Oo, merong outlier, no?
Diba? Sa totoo lang, ayoko na may King Mukla sa table kasi yan ang di mo ma-account for eh. Kung darating ba yung saging or ginamit na ba ng opponents mong saging nila or they're withholding it. Minsan kasi 'di ba kapag you have the bananas in hand, you don't really want to use it as up. You want to find something like maybe a cave hydra, o reaper
Or
or some other
may
divine
divine
shield
shield. Yeah,
minions. Oo, 'di ba?
that's
As we
true.
can see, si Stas already using his banana on a righteous protector that he just bought. So, ayaw niya maging behind, kumbaga.
So ito si Gia ang kalaban ni Staz ngayon. Pero syempre, turn 3 pa lang. Alam naman natin.
Mhm.
Either
Di pa
turn 5,
nagka-cash out si Gia.
either turn 5 or turn 6 nag-start kumuha si Galakron ng ano nila. Ng spike minions nila. So dito,
Yan yung mga minions sa ayaw natin nakikita
oh,
sa early part ng game.
double, you
'Di
have pair
Double
on the,
unstable ghoul.
you have pair on the Bob's Tavern offered by Bob. Pero paano ba? Would you rather sell one and tee up or commit into getting the unstable ghouls?
Possibly pwede gawin rin kasi ni Stazito is to buy the Sorreless, buff it with the two unstable ghouls, and then eventually end up with the Kabumbot. Pero who just opted to get an early tier 3. Well,
Si-
since naman healthy
40
siya
health, yeah.
ngayon, and he has some scaling minions in the form of Micro Mommy.
Pero he'll
So,
be
hindi naman
facing
siya necessarily
MACnavy.
behind.
Yan. Ito, mixed minion kasi si MACnavy. So, medyo mahirap i-consider ano ba yung initial warband ni MACnavy. And isa pa, turn 4, probably naka 2 procs na tong Verdant Spears. Tama ba? Tama ba yung computation ko? Or isang proc pa lang yan?
Mga dalawa na. Unless meron siyang tricks with this with yung sell 3 gold minion, pero mukha naman 2 procs pa lang. Pero yeah, MACnavy winning that since Staz going for an early tier 3 pero onti lang
3
damage sa
lang.
kanya.
So,
Mm-mm.
mas
So
beneficial kay Staz.
he wasn't punished, 'di ba?
Yep, that's true. So,
Pero
just buy,
MACnavy
buy,
seems to
buy.
be going with this signature demons build, 'di ba?
Oo. So,
Kilala si
siguro
MACnavy
mga
sa kanyang demons.
top 4 tayo. Gusto niya, round 1, kunin ko na muna yung top 4. Para maganda yung pwesto ko, di ba? Pwedeng ganun.
Well, I think this tournament will reward a lot of consistency kasi nga, 'di ba? Five lobbies tayo.
Mm-mm.
Maybe I would consider going for the high roll if tatlo lang ang lobby sa paglalaroan where all the first place matters, 'di ba? Pero yeah, he could play it really really slow for the time being kasi nga five lobbies tayo.
So, si Stas dito again, holding one pair of Micromami. Ito, si Ebanezpoopoo, may 2 pairs. And ang malaking bagay doon, may spawn up na Zot.
pero interesting, halos lahat ng mga tao bumili ng demons, diba?
Oo.
Eto, si Ebanezpoopoo having 2 Volgar Homunculus. Sa laban natin, MACnavy getting demons as well with 2 Rat Weavers. So medyo magkakaroon ng epekto magkakaroon ng epekto sa supply ng demon sa pool.
Oh, so parang
They just don't know it yet.
oh, si MACnavy medyo affected, heavily affected kasi nakita natin double rat weaver start siya eh. So si
A
Staz
really,
talaga.
really sad shop for Staz right
Oh,
now.
and another unstable goal pati. Talagang
Nagpaparamdam sa
pick
kanya,
me,
kakailanganin niya daw yan mamaya
pick
for
me.
a tech pick.
So tingnan natin si CaraCute with 4 win streak ngayon and 3 mechs. So Deathwing is powerful with those kind of death rattle things, di ba?
And it looks like Felinelure is also already at tier 4 as early as 8 gold, diba?
Oo.
So, we weren't aware kung kailan siya nag-discover. Kung nag-discover ba siya tier 4 minion or did he discover tier 5? Pero he already tripled 1 minion.
That's true. So dito, no elementals, no dragons again. So yung mech talagang parang stable pick to get into top 4. So sino lang tatalo dun? Pwedeng, kaya ba ng ano yun? Soul Juggler build? But wala pa tayong nakikita naka Soul Juggler, no?
Actually, ang Soul Juggler ang pinaka-counter talaga sa mga mech comps kasi hindi mo na makokontrol paano yung Divine Shields
Oo,
and
yung
Reflective
refresh.
Bot mo magre-react, 'di ba?
Oo, that's true.
Pero surprisingly again, Sindragosa with a Golden Rat Weaver.
Oh, so talagang agawan sila sa Rat Weaver.
Meron ngayon, 'di ba? Very 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 weird, 'di ba? Like sa totoo lang most cases people are allergic when it comes to demons. Pero
So,
ngayon parang ine-embrace talaga nila.
oo, with the 1-3 buff, I mean with the buff from the what Weaver received mga 4 weeks ago, talagang resurging yung Rat Weaver comp. So dito
Yes.
makikita na natin yung comp ni Kara facing Staz.
Pero yun nga, Staz taking 10 from Papa Belly there. And taking note na lang rin, si MACnavy is down to 15. Natalo siya kay Gia, taking 5 points of damage, which syempre di niya gusto. Especially taking into consideration nga na he already has 2 Rat Weavers. The more damage he takes, the less you can buff the Rat Weavers eventually.
That's true. So parang rin, may cap yung niya, current comp. Kasi life as a resource, hindi naman laging panalo. And yun yung dapat nilang i-consider din.
Apart from that, mas mababa ang HP. The medyo nawawala na yung opportunity mo to be able to play floating watchers. So, which is one of the reasons why you want to go demons, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Because they all work so well together, ang Rat Weaver and floating watcher. Pero if your HP is way too low, medyo you're gonna shy away from that. There's some really lucky attacks for Staz here.
Oo
And
nga.
interesting to note din, ha? Tingnan mo kamay si Staz, dalawang shifting
Oo,
Zerus.
Shifter Zerus.
Alam ata ni Staz na nanonood tayo sa kanya, so...
Caster's Blessing. Oh, wow. Captain Hogger. Di ba okay yan as Milhouse kasi kung mag full pirate siya, sobrang mura ng niya, pagbili. Pero hirap din. Parang kahapon,
Tingnan
trinay ko
natin.
ata. Well, di
Tingnan natin kung
nag-pay
trip
off.
ni Staz ang Pirates. Pero mukhang magsha-shopping na to.
So, itong micromami ni Stas will definitely stay. Kasi nakita natin, siya, nag-module siya doon. He'll be holding it as a pair, I think.
Just to take note lang rin sa purchase ni Staz ng dalawang Pirates, these are basically free, diba?
Oo.
Kasi dahil nga 2 gold lang ang
Ang
minions
purchase ni Milhouse.
for Millhouse. When you buy a minion, you play it and then you sell it.
That's free.
and you get 1 gold from Captain Hogar, it pays for itself. Diba?
Tapos paano pa kung yung mga battle cry effect that buffs your current board?
So I guess hindi naman talaga magko-commit si Staz sa Pirates. He just used that just to get some incidental buffs. Pero looks like he's going for some sort of menagerie build centered around mechs.
So ito si Felinelure medyo ano pa, he'll try to bank on with Bronze Beard pero pag dito minalas-malas siya, it could be lethal.
There are some really, really lucky attacks then for Felinelure here, being able to snipe the 2 resets.
Oo,
Pero
but that caused a lot of damage
that
but
was,
it's not yet lethal.
medyo minala siya dun sa last few attacks, yun lang. Looks like Stas being awarded with a really, really good shop here.
Yeah, with mechs
Looks like ito
on
na parang pinaka-clear sign na you are going mech, sir. Diba?
this is a clear sign that you're not going demon, sir. So dito ilan ba tribes niya currently on board? So tatlo. So definitely yung menagerie jug would be considered here.
Maybe he's already considering to sell one of the tribes,
Yeah.
possibly maybe the Hogar, which he does.
Oh,
And get I guess getting most of the buffs na lang. Tapos slowly scaling his board. Pero definitely I think Stas is going to have to look for something like a brand
or a light
or
fang.
to triple his micro mommy para maganda ang scaling ng board niya.
So dito ba, ano bang best na T6 pag gantong walang elementals, walang dragons? Because we know Millhouse is super good with collect cost, di ba?
I think despite the recent nerfs, it's still Amalgadon.
Amalgadon.
The ceiling of Amalgadon is still very high. I think that's also one of the reasons why they had to nerf it. And even if the nerf na si Amalgadon, a lot of the end game strategies still revolve around getting a perfect Amalgadon, di ba?
So
Pero
ito.
MACnavy with his demons.
Oh, and a soul jugglers.
Pero sadly, mukhang na-snipe na agad yung kanyang soul juggler, which is going to be a bit problematic on his end. Pero let's see if kaya mo withstand ng stats ng demons niya ang lineup ni Staz.
And there you go.
Mukhang really, really close.
Close
Just 2
and
HP off.
Staz will
Diba?
take
Isang maling
8
attack na
damage.
lang.
Siguro, ito.
Surprising, wala
Wala pa
na
namamatay. Yun yung
knockout.
gustong banggitin eh. Approaching turn 10. And definitely, I think this time, may malalaglag na. Gia sitting comfortably with 34 health with 5 pirates.
With pirates of all things, diba?
Let's see if
And
there's
ito
golden.
na.
That's the first
Nag-bless na si
triple.
Staz ng triple. It's actually really hard to get triples when you are Millhouse Mana Storm because you don't have the luxury of rolling for
Rolling.
what you need.
Yeah, that's true.
Diba? You always have to make do with what you're offered.
So would you buy, kung ikaw, magbibili ka dito, would you go for the Direhorn or Rat Pack knowing you're facing a Deathwing?
Tingnan na natin kung anong ugali nito ni Sas. Kung gusto niya na baburahin si CaraCute. It looks like he's taking the more flexible pick, which is Ironhide Direhorn.
So ngayon, mixed minion siya with 3 Beast and 3 mechs.
Pero still, looking at Stas's board, it still doesn't have a clear direction. So it's just a mix of different minions that he is slowly scaling up. Diba? I think the missing puzzle pa rin talaga sa comp ni Stas would be the brand that turns all of his battle cries into
More
two
effective. Yeah,
procs.
2 procs. So dito, low percentage lethal but both of the players have a chance to lethal.
A really lucky for attack for Staz there. Hindi mapapatay yung Deflectobot niya since may Divine Shield pa.
Also, no refresh but
And
eto, oh
medyo
no.
delix na si Kara dito sa situation na to.
Yeah, and yung Ironite Darwin,
Pero
pag
there's
naka-attack
still
pa
a
siya,
chance for a
or,
draw, pero never mind.
wala.
Once
So,
si Staz
Staz
ang
will take the win.
sinuwerte.
But dito sa match na to, walang nalaglag. Then, Gorebelly taking,
And Papa Belly taking the first 8 place
ano
of the
yun
lobby.
last qualifier, Gorebelly takes 4 first place, by the way. So, kumita siya ng 400 pesos last Tuesday. Kailan ba yun?
Sorry sa
Thursday.
mga Papa Belly fans dyan. Alam ko maraming Papa Belly fans dyan sa chat natin. Mukhang medyo malulungkot sila na Gorebelly getting eliminated first in the very first lobby.
Pero I think mas marami Gia dito. Mas
Nako,
maraming
di na
Gia
natin
dun.
kailangan i-state yan. Kahit ang mga competitors natin, mga certified
Gianatics.
Gianatics.
Show some love kay sino ba? Ebanezpoopoo. Type 1 if you're rooting for Ebanezpoopoo. Type 2 if you're rooting for relaxchill. Type 3 if CaraCute. Type 4 if Felinelure. Wala, pampagana lang ng chat, pampahype. So it's
Type
again.
6 and then 9 kung type nyo si Enli.
Type 0 if Weatherlight. Pero Fam, Galacron, Gorebelly, Dragosa. Let me know din kung yung mic ko hindi maayos ang positioning kasi medyo malayo and I choose to use my standalone mic rather than the headset mic.
A really late transition na rin for Staz here. Parang siguro nakita niya na ano na lang ako, I'll just go with some sort of beast plus mech build,
Oh,
diba?
I'll just try to survive and get the top 4.
That's one of the biggest problems nga rin kasi talaga of Millhouse. Kapag hindi talaga binigay, wala. Diba?
Oh, I've encountered a lot of games like that na multiple roles, although hindi Milaos, other games, it's the variants from Battlegrounds itself. So, take what you need, even though it's not what you, di ko alam, mali pala. Kasi want and need. Basta kung ano yung current offer sa'yo na magpapalakas sa board mo, kahit hindi mo kailangan yun, you might consider it.
Pero another poor shop for Staz, he just opted to go straight to tier 6 pero facing against Gia with a 7-win streak.
So, looks like, si Gia ata, APM Pirates. And, dalawa nalaglag, Ebanezpoopoo and Felinelure. 6 si Ebanezpoopoo with Mukla and Felinelure as Rafam taking the little damage from Gia.
Pero I wouldn't be surprised na na hindi masyado malungkot si Felinelure sa pangyayari, 'di ba? Kung if ever you're gonna get eliminated by someone this tournament, kay Gia na lang, 'di ba?
So, ito would Stas be the next victim of Gia. So, si Gorebelly pala was taken down by Gia. So, dalawa na victim ni Gia dito. So, siguro, jump tayo kay Gia if Stas natalo dito. So, hindi. Because of the refresh, Gia will probably, no, not probably because it's 99.8% win favored for Stas. So, kulang yung yung taba ng stats nung kay Gia. So, hirap siya. And there's a refresh from Staz also.
Pero very very surprising nga na Pirates are taking it this far in the lobby, di ba? Pero yun nga rin ang dangerous rin nga sa Pirates. It can dish out a lot of damage pero it doesn't really have gas to really carry you to the end game. Pero
Oo, ang
nakita na nga
payat-payat.
natin dito, eto na, medyo humihina na ang comp ni Gia. Taking that loss from Stas's amalgamation of minions. Hindi pa rin natin sure kung ano ba talaga niya, patutunguhan. Pero looks like it's going well for Stas currently. He's making good use of what's given to him na lang, diba? Buy the buffs, sell the weakest minion, progress na lang ng progress, unti-unti, and it looks like it's enough, barely enough to be able to secure top 4 for the meantime. Pero we don't know.
So ito, si
Pero,
CaraCute taking 6 in damage from relaxchill with Omu playing 7 beast.
okay, so guys, walang hello YouTube ngayon.
Walang hello YouTube sa round 1.
Walang hello YouTube ngayon sa round 1, diba? Hanap ka na lang ibang opportunity for your content, Madam Cara. Ito, si Staz, mukhang mahal na mahal niya talaga ang Shifter Zerus, taking another Shifter Zerus on
Mukhang
this
sa
turn,
mga,
diba?
sa 14k MMR journey niya, Shifter Zerus carried him siguro, kaya he's trusting his buy with Shifter Zerus.
Or baka naman, nagpapakit lang si Staz ngayon kasi alam niya nga, nanonood tayo. Ito, para sa mga fans.
Or
Shifter Zerus
ano,
tayo.
ito yung nagdala sa akin sa 14k MMR. So, trust Zerus. Gawin niyo rin to.
Nako, MACnavy with with the tech. As yun na nga. Pero, buti na lang, merong buffer na micro mommy si Staz para doon sa tech card din ni MACnavy. So, hindi basta-basta mamapatay yung mga deflecto bots. And again, another refresh on board coming from the gas coiler. Diba? Another Mechano egg in order for the deflecto bots to be able to potentially survive another attack.
Deflect. Oh
And
no, that's super good for Staz. Didin. Uh-oh. This could be. Not this could be. This is definitely a scam win for Staz.
This is the end for MACnavy's first run.
Yeah, that's true.
Ay, di na rin masama kasi 'di ba? Yun na rin ang pag-usapan natin kanina. Maybe MACnavy's plan all along was just to secure a top 4 finish. Diba? Which the reward naman siya ng demons. And yun nga, at the start of the lobby, doon nakita natin sa board ni MACnavy at sa mga kinukuha ng mga ibang opponents niya, 'di ba? It looked like na medyo tagilid siya.
Oo, kasi nga yun,
Pero,
may kaagaw siya. So, yun. At least, naka-fort pa rin siya.
Pero buti nga, he was able to still put things together and still eke out a top 4 finish. Pero ito si relaxchill, kanina pa natin hindi nakikita to. So very interesting kasi nga natalo niya si Gia in the previous round and he was also the person who knocked CaraCute out in the first round. So possibly the relaxchill with Omu has high rolled the lobby. Pero as we can see right now, very progressive pa rin ang development ng board ni Staz. So we just have to wait and find out in a few seconds time. Ano nga ba ang comp nito ni relaxchill with 6 beasts?
6 beasts, so probably nakakuha na siya ng Baron.
So it's not the Exodia beast builds. It's just beasts talaga.
Beast lang talaga.
Malaking beasts.
Kung may big demons, ito yung parang...
With a golden ma-X na of all things. Pero a really lucky roll again for Staz here. Ang lumabas sa kanyang sneeds is a ma-X na of his own. Kung medyo delikado.
So, depende sa gas coiler dito. Depende sa gas coiler. So, poor. That's a poor one.
Yes, that's a really poor gas coiler.
So, si Staz is at Tavern 6. So, kahit anong mangyari, mag-survive
I
yung
think
Deflectobot.
Relax Chill will probably lose here.
Wala na.
And
So, that's Relax
that's
Chills.
13 damage.
Oh,
Diba?
turn 14, Relax Chill with Omo is taken down by Staz. So, this is a showdown of um, Staz versus Gia.
Pero very lucky rin for Stas sa lumabas dun sa steeds niya is the ma-X na. I think if hindi ma-X na lumabas doon, there's a possibility that Stas could have been eliminated by that golden gas coiler.
Yep, that's true. So dito, hitting triples na lang ang best for Staz, 'di ba? Yung tipong selfless hero won't be enough. And as we all know, earlier when Gia fought Staz, natalo naman si Gia in a convincing manner. So mas ano si Staz dito, confident entering the next round to beat Gia.
Mga nagre-reply sa ating Twitch chat, mukhang maraming may type sa iyo, Enli. Baka gusto mo i-check yung ating Twitch.
Yeah, mga syempre, mga ano na lang yan, mga trolls. Mga supporters ng Hearthstone Philippines community. Thank you for watching this invitationals. Hopefully, magkaroon pa ng number 2, number 3, number 4. But again, we have another tournament to come, another Battlegrounds to come when we finally ironed it out. Courtesy of one of our player here, Felinelure, di ba? So,
Pero looks like medyo tagilid nga ang comp ni Gia against Stasis board.
oh
Yun
no.
talagang hirap sa Pirates. They're not really well equipped to deal with Divine Shields because they lack yung mga minions na pwede mag-hit for free. Like all of well, for one, wala talagang Divine Shields ang Pirates.
Mm-mm.
Apart from sabihin natin na ang
Selfless
pirate mo
hero.
is Amalgadon,
Armageddon,
'di ba?
yeah. So
Yeah,
dito,
that's the
kung
problem with
naka-multiple
Pirates.
salty looters ng Sarasis Gia, that could be beneficial kasi yun yung nag-scale ng normally with just buying pirates. Kasi yung pinaproblema nga, as you mentioned kanina, with pirates, yung health, ang hirap patabain ng health ng pirates. And
Yeah,
that's the
they
end
don't
of
have a
round
way to
1.
deal with Divine Shields, and apart from Divine Shields, wala rin silang way to deal with poison. So kapag may poison minion like a Maexa or a Spore, it will definitely trade with any pirate. Diba? Kahit 200 the gold grabber yan. Kapag nakakilala yan ng Maexa, patay yan.
So, kanina
Diba?
pala, ito, shout out to Pink po for noticing that my audio is much louder than Weatherlight. So, ito, in-adjust ko na. So, yun, Stars taking the round 1 and Gia being second. We'll be spectating Gia on the round 2 but definitely we'll have to take a break in a short while. Pero ano bang masasabi mo doon, Weatherlight, sa nangyari sa lobby?
Actually, yun nga, sa point of view natin kay Stas, medyo nag-struggle siya all throughout the round to finding a direction, di ba? Nagsimula siya with a predominantly mech build, tapos biglang nakita natin slowly nagta-transition siya to Mama Bear Beasts. Tapos nakita niya rin na hindi ito yung dapat kong pagtuunan ng pansin. And he was still able to get incremental buffs for his board, especially for his deflecto bots. Steady yung stream ng Metal Tooth Leapers actually. Yung nga, very lucky rin for his stats. So kaya lumaki ng ganun yung kanyang mga deflecto bots. So eventually nagsettle on siya sa build that has a lot of refreshes for the deflecto bots.
O,
And very
na-reward naman
very
siya. Yeah.
And very lucky rin ang mga ano niya, yung triggers ng gas coiler niya na it always produces more mechs that gives more refreshes. Yun nga, 'di ba? Yung isang laban niya with relax chill, if hindi ma-X na nga yung lumabas doon. He must have been already eliminated and ended up with third place. Pero ganun talaga ang Battlegrounds. A lot of it is RNG based.
So yun, with that, Weatherlight, thank you for your analysis of what happened on round 1 and what struggle did Stas
Correct.
experience. But we're going to have a quick break to um, drink water and figure out who will, and not figure out, Gia will be the next one to be spectated. And siguro we'll let them restart their client kasi malay mo, malag na rin. But then
Mm.
again, that's wonderful round 1 performance by Staz.
Para pinakitaan tayo ni Stas sa masterclass on how to play Millhouse. Diba? Very informative ang kanyang play style.
Nahi,
Always making do with what he's given. Tapos pinakitaan pa tayo ng tatlong, hindi naman golden, pero tatlong zeros in one round, 'di ba?
that's true,
So
that's
very
true.
interesting.
So we're gonna be taking a quick break and see you in a few. Now, we're back for the round 2 of our Hearthstone Battlegrounds Enli Invitational. We'll be diving into Gia's point of view later. But before that, thank you to our partners Route 39 and Baking Racks for providing additional food prizes for our top 3 players. Um, yung round 2 natin, nag-start, hinintay pa natin yung party leader which is MACnavy maybe just recon. But yun, ikaw ba Weatherlight?
Actually,
Kumusta ba yung dumating sa yung Route 39? Natikman mo na
actually
ba?
nga, hindi pa. Nalingat lang ako saglit. May mga langgam na yung pinaglalagyan ng pagkain.
Ha, bakit so ang bilis ng mga langgam naka ano
Kaya
agad,
nga eh.
nakaabang agad. Grabe. Pero
Ilipat ko muna ng saglit.
sobrang
'Diba?
sarap
Alam
niyan.
alam ata nila na masarap to, kaya
Oo.
uunahan na nila ako.
hindi tao pa yung kaagaw mo, langgam pa.
Kaya nga eh. Again, shoutout nga dun sa Route 39, meron pa nga sila nga, pakita ko uli,
Oo. Written notes na
na
Japanese.
written note. So yung mga weeaboos nga natin dyan, paki-translate ano ba to. Kasi Kevin lang ang naiintindihan ko dito.
Si
So,
MACnavy and siguro, di ko alam
iStick,
kung si Isaac marunong magbasa. MACnavy is also a weeb, but di ko, yun, again, I'm not sure if they can read it. So ito, let's jump
feel ko
into,
talaga pogi ang nagbigay na to at Enli isa sa mga ano nandyan. Yun yung kutob ko nakasulat.
wala siguro, wala naman. So let's jump into Gia's point of view
Ah.
now. I saw what she picked, but I didn't saw what she's offered. But now, she's currently playing Rafam.
Yun nga, this round is for all of the Gianatics, di ba? Alam ko, maraming mga fans dyan na wini-wish na sana may facecam din si Gia para mapanood nila. Sadly, kailangan yung pagtiyaga ng pagmumukha namin dalawa ni Enli.
During caster
Again,
desk.
1,000 likes para po mag-topless kami ni Enli. Paki-like and share ang stream.
So, ito yung lobby roll call natin. Roll call naman, Weatherlight. But before, no elementals, no beast.
Sorry, nagka-spectators bug ako.
Sige, ako
So,
muna mag-roll call. So,
just reconnecting.
Gia and Staz will be facing again for round 1. Stazas Deathwing, Felinelure as Milhouse, Gorebelly as Pyramid, MACnavy with Omu, relaxchill with Eudora, Mayev for Ebanezpoopoo, CaraCute as Ragnaros.
Have a good battle, friend.
Okay, so wala kang elementals and beasts naman dito sa lobby na to. And interesting din, 'di ba hindi naman banned, hindi namang nawawala ang Murlocs yung last lobby. Walang Murlocs.
Yeah, that's true.
So very very surprising, 'di ba?
Istick would be mad if he hear that. Bakit
Pero ito
walang kumukuha?
very very dangerous position for Gia here facing Pyramid on
Round 2.
turn 2.
Yeah, that's true.
'Di ba? Baka possibly wala siyang makuhang wala siyang makuhang minion. But we'll see. Tingnan natin gaano kaswerte si Gia. Pero really, really dangerous. Parang ito yung ayaw mo makatapat ng round 2 as Rafam.
Yun, guaranteed. May nakuha naman siya. So take note lang natin, parang nag-shuffle lang sila ng heroes. Kanina, di ba, may Deathwing tayo, may Rafam, may Milhouse.
Actually, walang Sindragosa. And meron tayong Mayev ngayon. And yun nga, relax chill with Eudora. Very interesting hero. Diba? Ever since the nerf, very underwhelming na si Eudora. Pero
O,
there is still
skeptical.
sometimes na pwede siyang magnakaw ng lobby depende kung ano ang golden na makuha niya. So we'll see, diba? Nakakatakot rin yan si Eudora.
Twin, Felinelure is Milhouse. So, again, no beast, no elemental. Kanina,
And
no
look,
dragons.
It looks like Gia is getting an early triple here. Meron siya early triple option kasi she froze another Rockpool Hunter dun sa shop kanina and getting a Rockpool Hunter from relaxchill. Meron siyang option to be able to discover at the very least a tier 3 minion. Diba? Pero most probably baka
I-grid
itatago
yeah,
muna to ni Gia.
oh,
Pero
wow.
no, she opts to get a tier 3 minion na kagad.
Siguro he's trying
Surprising.
to eye a Bronze Warden here. Too bad no Bronze Warden. And Felfin Navigator is a good one.
It's not bad, diba?
It
Pero it looks like because of these series of events, Gia could be really greedy when it comes to her tiers, diba? Pwedeng dire-diretso na siya to tier 4 or even possibly tier 5 with this really early power spike.
So he'll be facing Staz. Depende kung anong mabigay ni Staz dito kay Gia. Malay mo may spawn up na Zot, but definitely Staz as a competitive player won't do that. He won't do that misplay.
Pero meron kasing Red Whelp that could
May
potentially
shooter, may
snipe
shoot.
it,
Yeah,
diba?
sniper.
Pero I think medyo nalungkot si Gia doon because she could have gotten sana
War
the
leader.
old Berkay or the war leader, pero like she has to settle with the Glyph Guardian. Well, it's still better than the pirate. Pero
Your minions really pulled their weight.
So ito, girl to girl showdown, Gia versus CaraCute. CaraCute at 18 left. Turn 5, mababa at parang ang dami pa ng 18 left for turn 5. Tama ba? Or normal lang yan?
I think Kara wasn't able to kill much minions in the first two turns. Baka wala masyado nag token opener kaya 18 pa rin natitira, but definitely not the position Kara wants to be in as Ragnaros right now. And facing against Power Spike Grafam na super early, like Gia having 2 7 health minions, medyo mahihirapan siya, possibly even losing this round. So it's not a good start for Kara. At we'll see, makikita natin board ni Kara. Malay natin, baka meron siya mga malaking rat weavers na pala.
Everyone's gunning for you. Watch out.
So dito,
A decent size rat weaver,
sayang
pero
fair
really,
sana
really
kay Gia if it happened to kill the Dragon's Pawn Lieutenant.
very, very unfortunate series of events for Kara rin.
Oh,
Everything
with
seems to be
Ragnaros.
going wrong
Yeah,
for
that's
Kara.
true.
Oh no.
She just only got one minion there. She just
And
killed
taking
one.
11 damage. Diba? That's very big.
Work out there. Keep up the pressure.
So we all, but she won against Pyramid earlier. But this one from Gia at turn 5 with 11 damage. It's a lot.
So I guess Gia's contemplating whether to buy the Cold Lights here or be
Yeah,
greedy
be
and
greedy
go
with tier.
straight to tier 4. Personally, I would consider going to tier 4 as early as now because she is in a very, very strong position.
But would you freeze for cold lights here?
Probably not. I'd probably look for something better. Diba? Like, hindi pa naman talaga committed talaga si Gia to Murlocs. I think the clear sign for you to go to Murlocs is a very early brand with
Yeah.
existing Murlocs in play.
So yun nga.
Being
Gia is
faced against
letting
Ebanezpoopoo, staying
with
at tier
Maiev.
3 with no
No
triple,
triples.
diba?
Let's see if you can
Uh-huh.
Unlike her na nakakuha na agad siya. Kasi parang similar lang naman si Maiev and Rafam in some way na they can cheat out early triples. But then again, Maiev didn't get it.
Pero hindi, not bad din ang itong start ni Ebanezpoopoo. Getting a Deflecto paired
And
with an Iron
Iron
Sensei,
Sensei.
diba?
True.
So he might be losing this round, pero wait, he may chance pa rin pala mag-draw. Pero
Yeah,
it
that's
looks
a
like
draw.
Ebanezpoopoo, even without getting a triple, is already poised for the mid game, diba?
Replicating
Wala rin
Menes would give him more boost from his current comp. So dito si Eudora, ano kaya yung na dig niya? Kanina siguro nakuha na niya, no? turn 6.
Looks like nasa predicament rin actually si Staz, being at 7th place, only behind CaraCute, which is in 8th place right now. Medyo medyo sad talaga ang turn of events for Cara. As you could see kanina, medyo malas talaga siya sa mga nakalaban niya. One of the pitfalls of playing Ragnaros, having no hero power until you get 25 minion kills. Pero ito naman nga si Gia opting to be really, really greedy and went straight to tier 5. Which she can definitely afford because she's at 40
40
health
health,
naman.
yeah. So si relaxchill dealt 7 damage against Staz earlier. Siguro dahil dun sa power spike coming from the treasure itself.
Na dito natin makikita ang the dig ni Eudora. So, upon digging for his tier 5 minion, natalo niya si Staz. So, ano kaya binigay sa kanya, 'di ba? Well, not bad. It's a Golden Glyph Guardian, really really useful.
Yeah, it kills a lot of
pero
minions for sure.
ano kaya na-discover niya? Maybe he discovered a tier 4 instead. 'Di ba? Parang I think that's why he has a siege breaker.
Or siege breaker.
Pero Gia taking a loss here pero very very minimal damage. Parang trade-off of 8 HP
For the
pero
top, still up.
you still have more than 3 you're still at 32 HP despite the loss, 'di ba? And
Wow, a
you're
light
already at
fang.
tier 5. It looks like this is a direction that Gia can take na. If she can pair this with multiple other Divine Shield minions, she's going to be really, really strong.
That's a mech. But is Mechanoegg a good light fang receiver? Buff receiver?
Well, it's not bad. It still has really, really big stats. Tapos yun nga, taking note rin na nakuha ni Gia yung Siege Breaker, which is a decently statted demon to start
To
off
begin
the
with, yeah.
to start off the Light Fang Enforcer buffs, diba? That's
Oh,
actually
Hogor.
pretty good for her.
So that's a... Would Gia get the Hogger here? Hogger and Scalebane?
Mukhang pinag-iisipan niya. Ako, I wouldn't be surprised just to be able to maximize the Light Fang Enforcers, just to replace a Felfin Navigator, which she does. And now she has 4 different minion types on board.
The only
I'm
missing...
sorry, 5
yeah.
minion types on board. This is shaping up to be a really, really scary comp. Diba? Ito makikita natin na uli ang progression on board ni Gorebelly. We knew that he had a decently good start with a micro machine. Pero let's see kamusta na yung scaling niya. Pero mukhang medyo disadvantage si Gorebelly dito sa board ni Gia. Ang dami kaagad stats na na-flank ang board ni Gia because of that Light Fang Enforcer, 'di ba?
Oo. That's
turn 8
really
unlucky
usual
attacks din.
Usual Light Fang, yung tipong average turn where Light Fang is being played. High roll na yung turn 5, 6, 7. And
Staz getting eliminated, 'di ba? So this is still a wide open tournament, 'di ba? Well,
and
maaga pa naman second laban.
CaraCute ang nag-take down kay Staz.
Actually si MACnavy nag-take down kay Staz.
Yeah, Omu pala. Sorry. So now CaraCute will be facing Gia.
Pero yun nga, to note din, CaraCute has already activated her hero power and it actually has 2 triples. So I guess nagkaroon ng malakas sa power spike si Cara. She has won her past 2 rounds, 'di ba?
Probably may Deflectobot. So, or Bronze Warden. Or Cleaver, like... wala palang Beast. So, walang ganun.
Nakita natin so far dito sa development ng board ni Gia, she might be a little bit unhappy with how things are working out. Medyo wala pa siya yung mga big cards like Divine Shield for her Mechano Egg,
Oo.
or maybe a Bronze Warden to be able to replace a Cobalt Scale Bane early para kasi
Ito,
this is
mabagal eh. Yeah. Plus 3 attack lang every end of turn.
pero yun nga, yun yung magiging downfall ng comp niya in the later stages of the game. Kapag wala siya ng mga Divine Shield minions that scales pretty well with the Lightfang Enforcer, medyo
Ooh!
kukulangin.
A golden gold grabber for
A golden
CaraCute.
gold grabber and a lucky attack na hindi siya na-snipe ng Murloc Tide Hunter na may poison. So kakainin ng gold grabber yung
Yung the rest
majority
of
ng
the board.
board ni Gia. Pero looks like na medyo tagilid pa rin. It's still going to be a really close round.
So
Pero
take
yun
6
nga,
si ano.
Gia still winning.
Yeah. Take
Very
6 si CaraCute.
very close. Diba? Kasi rin naman ang scaling din kasi ng Lightfang Enforcer ni Gia is much bigger than the scaling of the Sulfura Zero Power of Ragnaros. Diba? Ang bigay na stats ni Lightfang is 8. Well,
Ooh, second
a
life
really,
fang.
really good shot for
Would you buy the
Gia
Bronze
here.
Warden, sell the skill bin now? Or would you hold
It's
it as a pair?
personally,
Oh,
it's a really
Reaper!
close call.
Oh,
Kasi
wow!
medyo lumalaki na yung Cobalt Scale Bane. Pero I wouldn't be surprised if she does move into the Bronze Warden now, since very much
Healthy pa siya.
lamang na siya
So, looks
sa
like,
board.
hindi. Looks like he'll not go for the Bronze Warden now. He'll take the pair. And no hero power.
Go big or go home, I always say.
Mukhang magsistick si Gia sa kanyang Cobalt
Cobalt
Scale
Skill Bane,
Bane.
that's true.
Pero this will definitely limit her endgame plans, 'di ba?
Yeah.
I guess she's still very much ahead opposed to the other people in the lobby. That she can just stick with this current plan of hers.
So, her plan would be hit the triple of Light Fang.
Or the Cobalt Scale
Yeah,
Bane. I guess
Scale
that's also
Bane.
one of the reasons why she didn't opt to transfer the dragon that she has into the Bronze Warden kasi nga meron pang pair ng Cobalt Scale Bane which could actually turn into an Amalgadon eventually.
So, this is wait! Gorebelly taking the hit with 13 health from Felinelure. So, 7th lang si Gorebelly. So, first 2 rounds for Gorebelly is not good.
Actually, very strong din itong composition ni MACnavy ngayon. Pero still falling short to Gia's double Lightfang board.
So, Eudora taking the hit on from Kara. So, not back to back from Kara. So, this is...
Bodies are falling left and right, di ba?
Oo.
Una, tanggal si Staz, then Gorebelly, and then relaxchill.
The strongest, but it'll fight hard.
I think
ito.
Kara was still able to turn things around, di ba? Parang kanina, parang inisip na natin Kara might be one of the first
few
victims. Pero she's still holding up, di ba? Really unlucky discover for Gia here, pero I think you can't always expect to get a Amalgadon from a Discover 6.
So,
Pero
Eliza.
yun nga, still a very powerful board for Gia. Doesn't really matter.
Would he sell the Hogar and Hero Power just for the Eliza? Si Ebanezpoopoo with 5 dragons, 2 gold, 2 triples. So, probably nakapag-spike siya ng Kalek. We'll see.
Pero ito rin, interesting to note din na Felinelure with Wheelhouse Manastorm with the 6 Dragon Comp.
So,
Tanong dyan is kung meron na ba siya ng Calicos. If meron, medyo ayan na, delikado na ang lobby dyan. Because the more turns that pass with Millhouse having that Calicos.
So, ito, ganda na rin talaga ng
Yun nga, we're talking about Calicos, diba? Ebanezpoopoo having that Calicos rin. Ang tanong na lang nga is if si Felinelure may Calicos of his own.
So,
Nga,
Ebanez
as I was
will
saying,
taking the hit against against Gia's Rafam with double light fang. So, yung double light fang na kanina pa nag-scale against the Kalekos maybe 2 turns ago lang na pick up, hindi ganun kalakasan pa.
Pero as you can see right now nga, Felinelure might not have that Caligos because he takes 12 damage from CaraCute's mix. Diba?
Although CaraCutes
So,
have the golden gold grabber.
oo nga pala kung sa bagay. Very powerful rin nga pala ang board ni CaraCute. Pero ito na, malalaman na natin nga kung ano nga ba meron sa board ni Felinelure. Pero yun nga, if you're gonna get eliminated in this tourney, diba? Patayin ka na lang nga ni
Might
Gia.
as well take the hit from Gia. Consolation prize. 6/5 si Ebanezpoopoo. So, MACnavy, top 4, guaranteed finish again. Gia, top 4. And this is CaraCutes and Felinelure turn to get a top 4 also. So, si Gia nangongolekta na ng selfless hero. She's gonna be looking into getting a Baron and triple the selfless hero, of course.
Really good strategy for Gia here. Kasi nga, she knows that she's very, very powerful when it comes to the other people in the lobby. Tapos yun nga, yung scaling din ng Light Fang affords her to not really give mind sa sa ibang mga battle cries. She doesn't really have to buy anything, kumbaga. She just lets her board stay as is and it develops on its own. Diba? And as you can see, the very kahit sabihin natin na lamang nga si Felinelure with the Dragon Comp, nakasabay pa rin kahit papaano ang niya, ang kanyang lineup. Pero yun nga, mukhang if ever Gia wants to take this lobby, she has to triple that self as
Yeah,
hero
and
and
the light
get
fang
a
too.
Baron and hope that Felinelure doesn't get the
Too
Nadina.
big. Yeah, too big of a dragon. So, Amalgadon would be step 1 also kay Gia, di ba? But, ito, nalaglag na rin si CaraCute. Omu, Mr. MACnavy, doing some job
And
here.
that's the triple for Gia right
Yeah,
there.
for the
Yan na yung
selfless
triple
hero.
self as hero niya. Diba? Pero if I were Gia, I'd want this lobby to end in the next 2 turns. Diba?
Oo, kasi
Like
that
I
dragon
want
scaling millhouse, unstoppable na yan. With Felinelure is already at tier 6 and rolling for Nadina. Oh wow, Nadina. Ang
yan na,
malas
alam
lang
niyo
din
na,
ng
tinake
trips
niyo na
na.
yung Nadina para hindi makuha ni Felinelure, di ba?
Ang malas lang
Pero
din ng hits ni Gia, no? Wala pa rin Amalga doon. That's the second time or third one.
Pero she already has 4 triples, diba? As opposed to her opponents. Isa pa lang di-discover ni Felinelure, isa lang rin di-discover ni MACnavy. Pero yun nga, if I were Gia nga, gusto ko na mapatay sana si MACnavy ngayon. And eventually when they face Felinelure again, when Gia faces Felinelure again, she wants to be able to hopefully eliminate him right then and there. Kasi nga, mahirap na habulin yung stats ng Caligos with the Millhouse Mana Storm.
So nakay-omo pala yung isang light pang na hinihintay ni Gia.
It looks like nga na Gia will be taking down MACnavy here. Pero yun nga, ang real test is yung board ni Felinelure.
Oo. So nakabawi si Felinelure dito with his 7th place finish last round on round 1. Now, this gonna be a showdown between Felinelure and Gia.
Pero Felinelure already at tier 6, siguro sumusugal na rin siya to be able to get that Nadina. Diba?
Another good finish for MACnavy. Now with third last round is fourth.
Same as Gia, consistent ang ang placing nilang dalawa, 'di ba? They both finish in the top 4.
So, medyo swerte yung mga in-expectate din natin, no? They're
That's what I would have picked.
ending it with their own point of view. Kaya kanina, with Staz taking the win,
Bali kung manalo si Gia dito, ibig
si
sabihin, meron
Felinelure
talaga
yung
tayong
yeah, si Feline, may blessing tayo.
may
Broadcast
blessing
blessing.
talaga.
Pero medyo dehado nga si Gia, as we all know from their last turn, 2 turns ago. But then again, still a good performance. We'll be spectating Felinelure on round 3. Then on round 4 would be CaraCute. So Anadina and a
This
selfless
will be
hero.
interesting kasi nung previous round, si Gia ang nag-knock out kay Felinelure,
Oo.
'di ba? Parang yan, baka Felinelure may be able to turn things around. Well, still no Nadina for Felinelure. Pero swak yung attack ng Bronze Warden na yun
So,
doon
so
sa Foe Reaper ni Gia.
for your opinion, siguro na-offera na ng Bronze Warden and Draconid Enforcer si Milaos kanina, or na sinadya na lang talaga ni Felinelure not to triple dose because mag-VV-kan yung board niya?
Possible. Pero mahirap rin to say kasi
Yeah,
he's
Milaos, yeah,
Milaos Mana
Milaos.
Storm eh. Diba? Pero Felinelure taking the win there, pero it's still not enough to take Gia
Ooh,
out.
what triple is that?
Baka yun na yung sinasabi mong Draco the Enforcer na triple. Which possibly nga, baka kunin na rin ni Felinelure since nga medyo nararamdaman niya na kailangan niya kay Nadina para talaga ma-ensure na manalo siya, di ba?
So, Gia taking another poisonous here. Would she take the other one? Pwede, no? There's no harm taking the second one. But then again, if Gia managed to win this round, this turn, Felinelure can just get unstable ghoul to counter the deadly spores.
Looks like magta-transition si Gia sa some sort of poison build na lang, di ba? Pero hopefully those selfless heroes hit their mark. Yun na lang iniisip ni Gia. Pero if Felinelure gets that Nadina, it's pretty much over na nga.
Wala pa rin. So ano yung na-triple niya? Triple from hand probably. Or namali na ako. Akala ko lang triple. It's just the hat streak logo kanina.
Pero lucky rin for Gia, naka-attack na rin eventually yung kanyang Foe Reaper. And some really fortunate attacks din, di ba? Pero
sayang, could have been tie.
Apparently it evens out. And Felinelure still winning that match with just 1 HP from his Bronze Warden.
So
For a moment there, it looked like it was going to be another draw, diba?
muntik-muntikan na. But yun, nasalba ng 1 damage, 1 health Bronze Warden. Di pala gumagalaw. Wait lang, yung caster camo pala hindi gumagalaw. Di ko alam bakit.
So restart ko na lang.
Sige.
Spectacular plays rin from Gia, diba? Being able to assess the situation na alam niya yung ibang mga minions siya doesn't scale well na in relation to Felinelure's board, opting to sell them, tapos gagawin na lang mga spores,
Yeah,
diba?
poisons na lang. So,
pero
despite
sadly,
of
it wasn't
1-1,
enough pa rin.
That's true. So, wait. Wait. So, ito, we'll be spectating Felinelure, of course. We won't take a break now, but usap muna kami ni Weatherlight dito. Hintayin natin bumalik yung camera niya. Yan.
Ayan, is it okay na ba?
Kaya kita ka na namin. So, with the feline lure point of view ngayon, ano kaya mangyayari? Ma-blessing din ba siya ng ano natin, kaswertehan?
Pero Felinelure taking the first and the second lobby, 'di ba? Bakit di niya na kailangan yung swerte, 'di ba? Bali nakakain na siya, 'di
Oo.
ba? Kasi
Busog
kanina
na,
kasi
busog
sabi
na,
niya hindi
nag-ano
pa
na,
siya kumakain nun.
nag-digest na yung ano, yung pagkain. So, yun. I'll instruct them to start now. G. Para dire-diretso tayo. Again, thank you to our food partners, Route 39 and Bato TV. Baking Rocks. Si Bato TV yung may-ari ng Baking Rocks, by the way. And he's from Cavite. Kung from Cavite kayo and looking forward to eat a sweets like cookies or the banana cake, yun, order lang kayo dun sa kanya. He'll do it immediately. Tapos, next day delivery ata. Or
I
choice
think
lang ata siya.
I think recap muna tayo ng
Sige,
scoreboard.
sige.
Enli kasi nagtatanong rin yung mga viewers natin kamusta ang standing after round 2.
Sure, sure. This is the scoreboard. Yan. So, with the 2 rounds in, ang leading is Gia with 12 points, followed by MACnavy with 9 points. Then, 8 points for Felinelure. Then, tatlo yung 7 natin, CaraCute, Staz, and relaxchill. Ebanezpoopoo with 5, and unfortunately, Gorebelly is still sitting with 1 point kasi 8 and 7 siya for the first 2 rounds.
Medyo parang tagilid si Gorebelly ngayon na siya parang kinukulam ata siya ng mga fans niya.
So, let's jump into the next round, the round 3.
Sige, we are spectating Felinelure this time around.
Yeah, Felinelure playing Nose with a Murloc start. Token start. Ito, ayusin lang natin. No elementals, no dragons. Laging walang elementals, by the way. For the first 3 rounds, walang elementals.
At wala pang full Murloc comp, 'di ba?
Oo.
Excited tayo na mapanood sana. Alam ko
Kanina,
marami
di ba
mga viewers diyan na gusto makita ang Murlocs manalo.
Kanina si Gia almost went for Murloc direction, but with Light Fang getting bought from the Bob's Tavern, of course, she needs to give up her Murlocs.
Sige, roll call tayo ng heroes. Felinelure using Nosdormu, Gorebelly as Sindragosa, Staz playing Elise, CaraCute as Omu, relaxchill as Rafam, MACnavy as Mayev, Ebanezpoopoo as Tess Greymane, and Zia naman using Millhouse Mana Storm. Pero alam ko, ito isa sa mga favorite heroes ni Felinelure to si Nosdormu. Dapat
Although,
gamay na
yeah,
gamay niya to.
old meta nga lang, di ba?
Oo, medyo na to. Para napag-iwanan na ng panahon to si Nosdormu. It wasn't as powerful as it was before, di ba? Pero yeah, very surprising for Felinelure opting to freeze the 2 Rockpool Hunters. Pero hindi pala. Gusto niya lang pala is kabumbot. Pero surprisingly lang rin some additional meta information. A lot of people have been saying, a lot of top players have been saying that getting kabumbot nowadays is actually a trap.
O, hindi na siya
Diba?
kagandahan.
It wasn't as powerful as it was once before. Diba? Kasi yun nga, marami na rin mga ibang mga token generators, death rattles, and stuff like that, which are premium takes. Diba? Sa meta ngayon, the kabumbot doesn't really trade that well.
So, kay Gorebelly, Sindragosa na naman siya. Tama ba?
Very
Kanina. Yeah.
unfortunate death rattle triggers there. Apparently, nauna muna ang death rattle ni Felinelure as opposed to dun sa reborn nung micro mommy ng Mayev. Kaya hindi tie ang kinalabasan. So, Felinelure taking 2 damage there. Very minimal pero syempre, the less damage the better.
So ito,
So makakita
Ebanezpoopoo with Tess, 'di ba? Wala namang pair si Felinelure dito, so hindi ganun ka gandahan yung makukuha niya if he choose to hero power.
Pero very interesting ang meron test. The anti-high roll hero sasabi nga nila.
Oo. Sobrang
Pero
tricky kalabanin. Hindi pwedeng basta-basta magbababa ka ng pair. Another hit. Another 3 damage will be taken by Felinelure here.
Pero I don't think this is the start that Nosdormu wants din, 'di ba? Na wala ka pang anything concrete or definite na nabibuild, wala kang pairs or anything.
Yan.
Pero here's an
2 pairs.
shop for Felinelure. Pero he opts to just roll and get a tier 3 minion instead. Para ayaw niya yung Sorrelix, ayaw niya yung pair na Harvest Golem. Pero yun nga, mare-reward siya with a Deflectobot. So hindi na rin masama.
Siguro kung si Enrico yung pinapanood natin, he would have immediately
Alam na
bought
natin kung sino
Khadgar.
kukunin niya.
Yeah.
Knowing that Murlocs and Beasts are present,
Present.
diba? Kunin
That's
niya
true.
yan. Or bebenta niya yung free dealing gambler, bilhin niya yan, diba? Ayun nga, Felinelure being faced against Staz Elite Star Seeker. Really powerful hero now with a lot of tempo being afforded by her, being able to get minions at a discounted rate. Discovered pa. Diba? So, let's see. Supposedly, dapat lamang na dapat sa tiers to si Staz as of the moment, pero very conservative. Still being at 3. And wala masyado siyang tier 3 minions.
Avenge me. Oo. Malas lang
And
din talaga si
sadly,
Phil. Hindi makatay. Another close encounter for Felinelure. Taking 6 damage this turn.
ito na, babawi na. Kailangan niya makabawi dito sa round na to. Get some really good tier 3 minions like a couple of senseis or another Deflectobot and some leapers. Parang feel ko yun yung parang direction na gusto niyang puntahan ngayon.
So dito, bait na ba yung spawn of Nazot? So looks like it's a bait now.
Yes, if it is a bit too late for the spawn of Zod. Pero
Would he
looks like
hold
he's
the
contemplating
Kaboombot?
to get the pair of Kaboombots.
And that's the second Deflecto.
Being rewarded the second Deflectobot. Very lucky for Felinelure here. Mukhang nagkakaroon na siya ng direction. Diba? But facing against another tempo hero in the form of Sindragosa.
Ano kaya yung mga big minions na inipon niya, freeze niya from time to time, from turns to turns dito. Kasi for sure may nakabili na siya ng dalawa. If that's his
There's something
direction.
really scary right now is actually CaraCute being really healthy at already at tier 4 with 1 triple. Diba? So, nakakatakot yan for a hero such as Obu having already a triple this early in the round.
I'm not sure if my scoreboard, life board is correct because Felinelure is at 38 here. Gia is at 38.
CaraCute.
I can see 28 as nose, but it's still 38 here on my side. Anyway.
Pero finally getting his first win ata of the lobby. Di siya nasaktan ng Sindragosa at that round. Being offered an Iron Sensei, it's not
Pwede
a bad
na.
pickup.
Yeah, pwede na.
It's not a bad pickup.
Pero, yun nga, CaraCute yung kalaban niya. And quite strong ata. Kasi 12k Mayev.
Diba? Nag-tier si
Tier up
CaraCute
pa.
kanina, nanalo siya and and Mayev taking 12. Tapos nag-tier up uli. Diba? Pero hopefully anticipating that there isn't much development sa Bordikara because she's been expending most of her resources tearing up. Diba? Pero hindi nga natin alam. Ano kaya ang nakuha ni Karaki dun sa triple niya? Baka Light Fang. That's why she can afford to be really greedy with her tearing.
So, yun, Mex nga din yung kay Kara. So, baka may mga refreshers din siya. And agaw-agawan lang talaga sila sa mech. Hopefully next round,
Or
walang mech.
more scary, baka dalawang sneeds yan.
Out there.
You don't want to see a sneeze as early as this point in the game, diba? Pero no, mukhang Meccano egg. And I guess baka nagiging lucky rin si Caro with the Maka always triggering that
Yeah,
Meccano egg.
like this one.
Ayun na nga sinabi na nga natin. And that Meccano egg sniping that deflecto bot. Nako. Very lucky hits for
That's
Kara.
it. Yeah,
Nakaka-cute.
But that's a good outcome for Felinelure. Although he'll take 6 damage here. Still,
But definitely, this is getting really scary because CaraCute is already at tier 5 with still 32 HP.
so si Gia at 17 health, MACnavy with 15 health, relaxchill at 7 health with Rafam. Malas din si Felinelure, no? Kalaban naman niya ngayon si Staz as Elise. Yung tipong alam mong possibly mas malakas yung current board state kung di siya makahit ng triples ngayon si Felinelure.
Well, then ang triples na di
In-offer ni
hinahanap
Bob.
di hinahanap ni Felinelure, diba?
Pero
Kasi as much
in-offer
as
eh.
possible, ayaw mo talaga i-triple yan. Pero mukhang he's going to take the bait. Di pa naman daw kasi ganun kalaki ang mga ang kanyang mga deflecto bots. So he'll be tiering it and hopefully rewarded with a good tier 5. Pero I don't think he's exceptionally happy with this offering right here.
So, for sure naman, alam naman ni Felinelure yun na sometimes it will be a bait. Kasi kanina, di ba, we saw Bronze Warden, double Bronze Warden with his Millhouse and double, what's the other dragon? Basta, you know that sometimes it's better not to hit triples kasi they have already the stats and the effects they giving is much better than tripling them.
Pero with this current positioning, medyo nakakatakot. Baka hindi maka-attack
Ah!
yung not Pagel, which is yun na nga nangyari.
Now,
Hindi
so
pa
far,
nakakaunang attack talaga
Oo.
ang board dispatch. Patay na siya because of the Yoho Ogre.
so for
Some
this
really
one, okay na to. Okay na. Hindi pa. So, another big hit for Felinelure, this would be 10. No,
really
9.
unfortunate attacks for Felinelure here. Hindi na nga siya binigyan ng card ni Nat Pagel. Nag-take damage pa siya. And still not being faced against the Ghost even
Oo,
after
even after losing.
losing a lot of rounds. Parang yun lang pinaglalaroan niya. Kundi si Gorebelly, si CaraCute, or si Staz.
So, Rafam is now down. Si relaxchill taking the 8th place.
Interesting board for an interesting shop for Felinelure here. Being offered the triple and Anoyo module. Ano kaya ang ipaprioritize niya? Okay, he's prioritizing the triple and freezing the Anoyo module here. Pero yun nga, he needs to get something really good. And sadly, a second that
Second
Pagel
na-
after selling the very first one.
Not a mech game. Not a light pang game.
Medyo nakaka-frustrate yon siguro on Felinelure's part.
Oo,
Taking the not
kung ano lang
Pagel.
to, normal game, magchat-chat na agad yun sa'yo. Toot! Ba naman yun?
He's definitely unsure on where to place that not Pagel in order to be able to generate some value out of it. Pero yun nga, the really tricky situation then for his refreshes is that kailangan may space in order to generate the 2-3 mech. Diba? Pero another really unlucky attack for Felinelure there. Na-snipe na naman nga ang not pigil niya. Na-snipe
Bait,
pa ang
bait.
Deflectobot niya.
So, kailangan
looks like
lang, kaya sana naman mapatay niya yung ano, no?
He's taking another hit
High
here.
main,
Taking 6
yeah.
damage from Cindergosa.
But at least napatay niya yung high main.
But he's still hanging on. Baka pag bigyan na siya ng ghost ngayon. Diba?
Yeah, ghost na to, definitely.
Yun.
Yay, nakahinga po si Mr. Felinelure dito.
But still, no leapers for Dormu. Which is very, very odd. Tingnan nga natin if anybody else is playing mechs. Well, apparently one of them is playing mechs as well. It's si Ebanezpoopoo. Actually, also MACnavy. And CaraCute. And Gia. Almost everyone is playing mechs pala. Kaya pala ganyan.
Kaya nga gusto ko sana na next round walang mechs para iba naman tayo, 'di ba? Elemental's been absent for the 3 rounds. So kahit nasawang-sawa tayo sa Elementals before yung balance changes for the new heroes. Gusto ko naman dito may Elementals.
But ang nanalo sa previous lobby natin was Dragon. So may naman, may iba't ibang flavor naman.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Felinelure opting to freeze for possibly the Baron Riven there here. Diba? So, parang maybe he's looking into transitioning into some sort of Kangor build. Hopefully, he gets to triple his security rover. Diba? I would expect the module being attached to the Kaboom bot on the next turn. So, bibenta na naman nga niya sa atin kanya not pigel na baka wala na naman makuha kapag ma-swipe ng Cave Hydra. Pero sige na, pinagbigyan siya this time around. May chance to attack si that pigel.
Meron. Nice.
And hindi siya masaya doon sa disco,
hindi beneficial.
sa card print na yon.
Sana ano na lang ibang wala ring maganda eh. Ano ba maganda sana? Token? Or syempre mech? Or
something usable. And wala na naman na na eliminate.
So this is Gia versus Felinelure. There might be
Gia holding on strong, 'di ba? With a 4-win streak.
And
I think kanina 17 health si Gia, ngayon 16. So
she hasn't been losing any of her games.
So baka may Ratweaver to si Gia kaya from 17 to 16.
Ayun nga, just making do with what he's given na lang to si Felinelure ngayon.
So, Mama Bear and Hydra. But that's a pass. So, Parrot would be beneficial here.
I think probably not.
May deflect
there's an existing Deflectobot. I think yan ang hinihintay, isa sa mga hinihintay ni Felinelure, pero I don't think he has the luxury to be able to buy it. So, he just opted to pass the Sneeds. Diba? So the Baron Riven there here is actually very underwhelming.
So just for the Kaboom bot.
Kasi nagdadasal lang si Felinelure ngayon that his Kaboom bot hits its mark. Diba? Kung may mga Deflectobots din si Gia of her own, sana ma-snipe.
So 4 mechs si Gia. If there's a Ratweaver nga.
Shoutout lang rin pala kay kay iStick. Sabi niya sa chat, duduruin kayo ni Papa Belly. Diba?
So ngayon
from your number 1 fan, Papa Belly, iStick 16.
So ngayon nandito na si iStick. Maybe Gorebelly will perform better. Kasi kanina first 2 rounds medyo dehado siya eh.
Really, really good positioning here for Felinelure. He was able to minimize yung damage. And again, yung sinabi ko na nga, 'di ba, na baka sakali nga ma-snipe na Kaboom bot nung Deflectobot ni Gia, which he does, 'di ba?
Magandang outcome for Felinelure. Tapos buhay pa yung security rover that will refresh.
And again, some really lucky attacks for Felinelure here. Yun nga, nabuhay yung mga deflecto bots and looks like he could still survive another round. Diba? Parang initially, parang inisip natin, grabe lakas si Gia. She has a 4-win streak, diba? Hindi siya natalo
Oo.
mula kanina pa. And yun nga, nasilat siya ni Felinelure doon. And again, surprising to note again nga, na wala na naman na eliminate. But everyone is hanging on by a thread. MACnavy taking 6 damage, pero yeah, still has 2 HP left. Gia taking 11, going down to 5. Ito si Felinelure, kanina pa naghihingalo.
Oo.
Diba?
So, eto rin, if you guys didn't notice, Staz sitting at 33 health at tier 6 just because of double light fang, kaya na-afford niya yung ganong aggressive tavern leveling. So, siguro madami na ring improvement yung kay Staz kasi kanina he only have Sorolisk, Bagurgle, Egg, and a Yoho Ogre. So ngayon siguro yung mga binabuff na nung Light Fang is a much better effective minions of respective tribes.
A really surprising board for Felinelure here, opting to get the
Unstable
unstable
Ghoul,
ghoul
yeah.
because he's expecting that the unstable ghoul would trigger
Divine Chill
the
of the other,
damage
yeah.
for the security rovers and will refresh his own deflecto bots.
Mm-mm.
Pero yun nga, CaraCute also sitting at a very predicament here with 9 HP left, 'di ba? Pero yun nga, tingnan natin kung magpe-pay off tong kalokohan ni Felinelure.
Then
And mukhang the gamble pays off. Pero
Oo.
yun nga, double trigger nga
because
pala.
of the Baron.
Because of the Baron.
You smart boy. You have Baron.
Yun
Smart
lang.
play. Yeah, smart play but you have Baron.
Yun lang. And looks like
Looks like he will still
Gore.
live. Oh no, this is exact
No.
lethal.
This is exactly
Exact
lethal.
lethal. So let's jump into let's see. I don't want to jump on Staz. Maybe Ebanezpoopoo.
And wala pa rin namamatay. What's happening?
Siya lang namatay. So let's jump into Ebanezpoopoo's side of the board. Kasi test baka interesting. So, Ebanezpoopoo. Jumping into Ebanezpoopoo. So after taking the first for Felinelure now, he's going 7th place.
So, Ebanezpoopoo facing Staz on the previous round, taking 13 damage. And mukhang wala siyang nakuha maganda doon kay Staz. He did not opt to use his hero power. Pero yun nga, meron siyang abundance of golden minions dito ngayon, 'di ba?
So ngayon si Gia ulit yung kalaban. Another point of view for Gia's Milau's Mana Storm.
Pero as we know, Gia having Cave Hydra, 'di ba?
Baka
Medyo
lumaki na
parang
yan.
tagilid, actually medyo tagilid na tong board ni Ebanezpoopoo. If he doesn't know, he's in for a surprise kasi kapag tumama yung Cave Hydra ni Gia dito sa mga high value minions ni
like
Ebanezpoopoo,
this
not having
3-6.
any taunts, 'di ba?
Oo.
It's
Baron
going to be a
driven there.
disaster.
Very true.
And eto na, moment of truth. Not bad. And makaka-generate ng isang katutak na 16/16s. Pero yun lang.
Bakit lang yung lumabas dun sa Kangers kasi first victim was Iron Sensei. So ang weird lang
really,
na yung lobby is para magkakamukha yung comp.
actually nga, 'di ba? Puro sila mga mex everywhere. Pero nga, really lucky attacks for Ebanezpoopoo rin, 'di ba? Looks like this is gonna be it for Gia. Pero I would expect na meron mga kasama mabangkay ito si Gia on this round.
So kaya pa rin ni Gia mag 4 dito or 5th. For sure 5th. But maybe 4. Didn't. Oh no, hindi.
Oh no!
6th.
Cara
Kara,
being
yeah,
being
Kara being
eliminated, 'di ba?
17
Parang
from MACnavy. Coming
ano
from
ano
nowhere.
nangyayari? What's happening?
We haven't seen Kara's board in a while, right? So, maybe MACnavy may scam comp na included dito sa mechs niya. That's
Okay,
interesting.
some miscalculations on Ebanezpoopoo's part, buying that deflecto bot and immediately selling it agad, 'di ba? And another lapse for Ebanezpoopoo here, playing his seventh minion with no existing flex slot anymore, being
Oo, so,
forced to sell that golden sensei. Diba? Feel ko di pa niya ata gusto pakawalan yung basta-basta, but now he has to sell it in order to play that Anoyo mojo that he rolled into. Mukhang mapupwersa na lang siya to play that second Kangors na lang.
and now, much safer na siya kasi Ebanezpoopoo have ano yung module.
And what's happening to Ebanezpoopoo here? Ayun. Kala ko, for a moment there, kala ko na-disconnect na siya.
friend.
Papa Belly's board.
So, this is not
Ayan
enough
na.
against mech, the poison comp, sorry.
Ito.
Unfortunately.
Somewhat Murloc Cobb.
Oo.
Dedicated to Ice Stick. And na-snipe ang Baron.
Pero I think that won't
Pero I
matter
think
na. Kasi ito
very much favored
Tango's
si
apprentice. Yeah.
Ito na. Ang surprise. Pero yes, I think Gorebelly taking the loss here and being eliminated na. Pero still, diba, it's an improvement from his past two
Past 2 runs.
placements.
8 and 7. Now maybe 3rd. Depends. So that's a 3rd
And
place.
MACnavy also being eliminated. So Staz having the opportunity to take 2 first place finishes here, unless yun nga, if Ebanezpoopoo has anything to say about it, 'di ba? Pero I think medyo nalulungkot rin si Ebanezpoopoo sa mga options niya. He's not being offered any Amalgadons or the like from the people that he's been facing.
So
Pero yun nga,
another top 4 finish for MACnavy, by the way.
Pero yun nga, ang pinaka-consistent ngayon sa tournament na to is si MACnavy with 3 top 4 finishes, 'di ba? Pero yun nga, he still has yet to finish in the top 2 or no? Nag-finish na ba si MACnavy ng top 2 dun sa past 2 lobbies?
Wala pa.
Hindi,
4th, 3rd, and
no.
4th.
Puro third and fourth. Pero yun nga, ito, si Staz gearing up for a potential second first place finish. Diba?
Oh,
Which is very,
but kanina, 'di ba, 8th place siya. So this is a comeback for him.
I think kailangan natin i-recap ang scoreboard na naman after
Oo.
this. Marami siguro interested to see paano na ba nag-shape up ang standings.
So ganito pala kalakas si Staz. So double Amalgadon with Poisonous.
And some Zap Sly weak tech, 'di ba? Apparently na-expect niya na may Baron, and yun nga, si Kangors pa ang napatay ng Zap na yon, which is very costly for Ebanezpoopoo's board. I think that's gonna be what's gonna decide the round for Staz, yung pagdetect niya ng Zap. Actually, kanina pa yung Zap ni Staz na yan, 'di ba? Nakita rin natin sa very first round na yan din ang mga nagpapanalo sa kanya. Parang yan, parang isa sa mga signature na minions sa siguro ni Staz
Bine-bench
yan.
niya, then pag time to shine, binabalik niya.
Pero yan, another first place finish for Staz. Ebanezpoopoo taking a strong second place finish na rin. Hindi na rin masama. Diba?
So ito, balikan lang natin din yung standing. Kasi baka mag-call for the next round na agad yung mga players natin. So, let's check the current standing. So now, dalawa po ang 14 points natin. Si Gia and Staz tie at 14. Then followed by MACnavy with his consistent top 4. Then Ebanezpoopoo with 11 points. Cara at 10 points. Felinelure at 9 points. While relaxchill and Gorebelly have 7 and 6 points. So yun, medyo close one tong top 6. So si Gorebelly and relaxchill definitely needs to improve their placement kung gusto nilang humabol sa top 2 finish. But then again, si Felinelure who managed to get a first, malay mo makakuha rin. So, yun yung current standing natin.
I think ang next na dapat natin panoorin si MACnavy kasi medyo nananahimik to eh. Pero yung pala, 'di ba? Very very consistent finishes, 'di ba?
Sige,
Parang
we could consider. Yeah.
he's not high rolling the lobbies pero he's very consistent.
Sige. Hopefully everything is ready. Pwede na tayo actually mag-jump. MACnavy is asking if Gina ba. And I would definitely say na game na tayo, no?
Sige lang.
So, asan pala
Fight.
si... Yeah, sige. G. 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 So, yan. Hopefully, wala ang mga nagtitake ng break. And, eto, dire-diretso lang tayo. Wala tayong tigil. Siguro mamaya, after round 4, quick break para makainom kami. Sila, mag-CR break. MACnavy ang next one. So, again, yesterday, MACnavy and Weatherlight had a good run on their 3 heroic duels, winning some Blizzard credits na pwedeng pang mega bundle on the next expansion, on the next year of Hearthstone.
Plug na rin natin ng ang duels. Actually, meron pang 2 more heroic duels tournaments na upcoming sponsored by AKG Philippines, 'di ba? Actually, I've been playing duels more than Battlegrounds in the previous week. As very surprising na I never took it na parang I would enjoy the game mode, pero when I gave it a chance, ang saya pala kasi it's Hearthstone pero it's not Hearthstone.
so, so it's like BG but not BG. Joke lang. So,
Pero yun nga,
mali.
sa mga iba mga ayaw pang bigyan ng chance yung game mode, you definitely need to try it. And sali rin sa tournament. The tournament sponsored by AKG is free of charge. Walang entrance fee or anything, diba?
Oh,
Malay
that's
nyo,
true.
swertein kayo, you might be able to win Blizzard credits.
So, ito,
Very,
we're already on the game, by the way.
sige, let's jump into MACnavy, aka MacBaby.
So, what you're saying is that duels is fun. So,
Nakakapagod lang.
unlike BG na kaya mong maglaro, magdamag, duels, I think, hindi ko kaya.
Pwede pa rin naman.
Or maybe
diba?
if I'm winning, kaya ko. But apparently, I got 9 wins, 9 losses yesterday in 3 runs. So, that's poor. Poor performance.
Pero surprising to note again that yung mga ibang mga mamaw na heroes from the previous meta like si Rafam and si Mayev, they haven't been high rolling this time around. Parang wala pa atang nagta top finish na na Rafam and Mayev.
Wala pa.
Considering that they're almost in every single lobby that we've been spectating up until now. Kaya pagbabalik ng Galacron being piloted by Ebanezpoopoo. Pero roll call tayo ng heroes, 'di ba? Yun nga, Galacron being piloted by Ebanezpoopoo, relaxchill with Ragnaros, Felinelure using Jandes Barov, Cara using Archvillain Rafam, Gorebelly using Omu, MACnavy with Mayev, Gia playing Ysera, and Staz playing Alakir. Pero yeah, this is the first time we'll be seeing Alakir and Isera in this tournament.
And ang absent ngayon sa tribe rotation is Marlocks and Pirates.
Morlocks
So,
and Pirates.
wala, may elementals na tayo, but still, there's a mech.
Ayun nga. Also, I think this is also the first time we'll be seeing Jandis, diba? So another scary hero kapag nakuha
Interesting.
niya yung pero sadly there are no more locks.
Murlocs.
So ang
Kaya mas
power
konti.
level ni Jandis will be so much lower.
Pero still with elemental, tapos kunyari may Nomi na, yung mga crackling cyclone, pabalik-balik mo lang. Kanya if you have early crackling cyclone, so pwede mo nang hindi sila basta-basta isell. So MACnavy deciding if it's interesting to see na hindi siya so that's the reason. Kasi kaya pa naman niya sell ng elemental. Akala ko mag-ano na siya commit into the second hyena for his hero power. But now, he's tripling the vulgar homunculus.
Ayun nga, si MACnavy pala is just 1 point behind Staz and Gia if I'm not mistaken nga, no?
Oo,
So
14
it's still a
points,
very
13.
close game. So ipagpatuloy niya lang yung yung kanyang pagta-top 4 finishes, eventually makakahabol rin siya if any one of them slips up, kumbaga. He's taking a bit of damage here from Felinelure.
So, si Felinelure, meron siyang target ng cycle na hindi naman ideal but could be pag walang-wala yung leaper niya. Now, Ebanezpoopoo will be showing if there's a T5 or still holding into a potential T6 hero power.
I think definitely MACnavy is going to tier here and then tier again on the succeeding turn to discover a 5.
5.
Diba? Pero very unlucky for him to be facing against Galakron on the potential power spike turn, 'di ba?
Oo, kung T5 yung kinuha nito, like
Pero yun nga,
sneeze.
wala rin masyadong choices si MACnavy, 'di ba? Because this is how Bayev's game plan is supposed to be.
Funnel cake.
Diba? Unfortunately, the triple that he's going to receive is going to deal another additional 2 damage to him. So hopefully he doesn't take too much from Galakron. And apparently nga, medyo mahina pala si Galakron, opting to get the tier 5 minion na Nomi Kitchen Nightmare, pero still, diba? Parang, that's a sign na parang we have to kill Galakron ASAP because it's going to get out of hand really fast. Ito na, moment of truth. What will MACnavy get as a tier 5 minion?
So there's a crackling cyclone. Well, light fang is good.
MACnavy high rolling as well, diba? With a light fang enforcer.
So
Diba?
may mga
And
four tribes naman na yung present.
Pero I'm surprised MACnavy not opting to get that crackling cyclone to
True.
start off those really juicy light fang
Maybe he'll freeze
enforcer
this.
buffs.
But it's awkward since hero powered is elemental. Kasi if he freeze this, getting the crackling cyclone, he wants to guarantee the buff on the elemental, di ba? So he might need to set the water droplet.
Pero mukhang pinaghandahan rin ni MACnavy itong board niya. Tingnan mo, lilimang magkakaibang minion type sa kagad.
Keep up the momentum, friend.
Oh, tama. It's
Full,
5.
full value for light fang
lang
enforcer. Kasi ang ibibigay niya pa kay
Cara is
Vulgar
homunculus.
sa Vulgar homunculus, diba?
It's an early light fang by the way, turn 6. So, it's guaranteed na with his current board state na hindi pa siya mananalo. But this is a huge damage, 14. Pero
Oo,
next
medyo
turns,
tagilid na.
next few turns, yun na yung pay off with getting light pang. Pero yun nga, with this minions are not that the best one for the light pang buff. So that's a bronze
Looks
warden.
like that's an automatic pickup for MACnavy right there.
And
Changing one of his dragons
yeah,
with
probably
a
he
bronze
needs to buy this
warden.
elemental
And
now.
that's and also a triple elemental if he really wants it.
Yeah,
Ayan na, binibigay na sa kanya.
I think he'll get it now for next turn. Para mag-triple na siya rather than hero power.
I guess he's opting to possibly get the selfless hero
Selfless
here
hero.
para lang sagarin niya lang yung ano niya, yung board space niya.
And no no hero power tayo dito kasi no gold for rolls and
Ay,
yun.
wala ring magandang
Wala
target, sadly enough. I guess he also would want to get Deflectobot for his Micro Mommy if ever it stays too long on board. Baka yan ang yan ang mech mo until the very end for your light fang buffs,
Pero yun
diba?
nga, MACnavy will have opportunity to probably discover 6 ba gagawin dito? Or okay lang discover 5? Kasi if discover 6, definitely a Foe Reaper would be an huge upgrade with a Foe Reaper, with a Light Fang Enforcer currently on board.
Actually, maraming pwede makuha si MACnavy sa 6 apart from that, diba? Pero yeah, isa sa mga he's banking on. It's definitely the Amalgadon, diba? Pero yung sabi mo nga, diba, na para tumatagal ang laban, yung incremental buffs ng Light Fang Enforcer is going to carry MACnavy. He lost the previous round terribly against Kara's
Wow,
board.
this is
Pero
now a
ngayon, nananalo
Hydra.
siya. Ako, lahat na binibigay kay
Oo.
MACbaby. Diba?
This is a
Pero
good
yun nga,
good
is he, I think it's definitely a really good pickup right now considering that he actually has to sell a
Ooh,
minion. Pero yun nga,
wow. So
he opted not to,
maybe
diba? Parang
monstrous, yeah, that's true.
MACnavy proved us wrong. It's just
Monstrous
proving us
Macau
wrong.
is enough for my beast. Kasi 'di ba parang ano rin, if you look into it, pag si MACnavy went into a top 4, top 3 finish, yung selfless hero would be very beneficial on a menagerie build. So siguro yun yung one of reason na sige, I'll stick with my Maka rather than taking the Hydra.
Pero it's really awkward series of events here, diba? Pinasa ang Hydra, binenta niya pa rin yung kanyang Maka.
Maka, yeah. Di ko
And now
na sure.
he doesn't have an existing beast anymore to buff, 'di ba?
So what more
So,
is, 'di ba, I also mentioned na he
I
might be tearing up and try to discover a tier 6 minion, but unfortunately hindi nga yun yung ginawa niya.
I think this is a lapse in MACnavy's part. Medyo parang ano 'yon.
So baka natakot
Parang
siya.
pagsisisihan niya 'yon in the long run.
Probably natakot siya na, uy, Staz is at 29 and unluckier. Maybe if I mismanage my stats here, matatalo ako.
Pero this is gonna be a really close one. Pero wow, a full Reaper for Staz. This might be actually lethal for MACnavy. Buti na lang na snipe ng Bronze Warden niya yung full
Yung Foe
Reaper.
Reaper, that's true. That's a
Pero
scam win actually. 90% favored for MACnavy there.
I think medyo pinagsisisihan ni MACnavy ngayon na pinasa niya yung ano na yon, yung Hydra na yon. He actually made this board a lot weaker than expected.
Tapos medyo trap na siya sa no water droplet. So, eto may opportunity pa rin na benta na niya siguro yung droplets para mag-guarantee na pumunta sa Divine Shields and current Big Demon yung Jugs.
Some really interesting decision making by MACnavy here.
buying a second selfless hero, but also ending up selling his very first one. So
Go ahead and hire one of these recruits.
he could have made some better use of his gold there, but hindi tayo entirely sure ano ba talagang dumadaan sa isip ni MACnavy ngayon.
Maybe tilted na rin because of the Cave Hydra pass. Kasi ngayon, yung Light Fang, it only buffs. It still buffs 4, but yung Hydra, ilan na sana stats nun? And imagine, probably, if he went for my play direction, baka may Foe Reaper nga siya. Sana. Pero, sana na lang yun. Di na natin mababalikan yan.
Getting face again against CaraCute.
Oh,
Hindi masyadong na-develop ang board ni Cara.
waiting for triple si Cara again. Sana.
Pero this is getting really dangerous for Cara na rin. The brand still surviving, which might end up dealing massive damage to Cara, pero not enough naman for lethal.
5.
That's 13
Okay,
damage.
not
Cara
yet
going down to
lethal.
3.
So,
And Gia
double-
being
double
eliminated
down.
along with Felinelure.
Oh no.
Keep up the pressure.
Looks like si Staz na lang ang matitira sa sa 14 points. That's a very, very huge hit for Zia's chances of getting first.
Hire one of these recruits.
Narinig nga, MACnavy just needs to hang on a little bit more. So he'll be facing off against relaxchill with Ragnaros with with a 2-win streak. Siya yung nag-eliminate kay Gia and as well as kay nag-take ng big hit si Jandice kay relaxchill.
Oo, with
Prior to
35
getting executed by Gorebelly. 35
35 kay
damage.
Gorebelly. So baka ito, relaxchill having a good divine shield minions that receiving buffs. So, with mechs, ang awkward lang, no? If, kunyari, si relaxchill doesn't have a lot of divine shield, mas detrimental pa kay MACnavy yung having an unstable ghoul.
Hindi natin malalaman. Looks like lamang naman si relaxchill with with one divine shield. But yeah, that's gonna be a really good tech card for MACnavy right there. And mukhang ito na rin, tagilid na rin
Tagilid na si relaxchill dito. Kasi yung good stats lang niya is in the two left and right minions niya. The wing guardians of Ragnaros.
Pero still probably not enough for lethal rin because the brand is going to trade with the 1-1 here.
Yeah, it's not yet
only
lethal.
taking 8 damage. Pero yun nga, si MACnavy pretty much sad with that because he just wants to really get top 4 at this stage of the game.
So Rafam,
Pero
wow,
being awarded the
with
ghost of
CaraCute.
CaraCute.
Swerte,
Oh,
what a
no.
lucky break.
Pero yun nga, diba? Si Ebanezpoopoo, upon seeing his board kanina, meron siya super duper early Nomi. And he still hasn't dropped a game since, diba? So very very fortunate for Ebanezpoopoo.
So it's like
He definitely high rolled this lobby.
it's his game to win here. So sila MACnavy will just try to beat the Galacrons high roll if there is opportunity, pero pag wala, let's just settle for a top 4.
Top 4 na lang ang labanan ngayon. Pero interesting to note once again that Staz is just getting draws left and right. Nag-draw siya with Ebanezpoopoo's Nomi Elementals and Gorebelly's Beasts. Diba? Parang, wow, si Gorebelly dealt 35 damage to Jandice. And then tying with Staz. Ano meron?
Oo.
Diba?
So pwede ring tanong natin, anong wala kay Felinelure? Bakit 35 damage yung tinake niya doon?
think you can win
Pero
this.
yeah, as we already predicted kanina na Jandis will be in a very poor spot because of the absence of Morlocks. Pero
Oh,
wow,
so
looking
wow,
at
this is a
CaraCute's
greedy.
board, what
What
happened
happened?
here?
Yeah, he
What
tripled the
happened
high main,
here?
then wala nang nangyari. Looks
Uh,
awkward. This is turn 11, right?
with 5 minions
Oh,
only.
maybe disconnect or
What happened to Kara? Kailangan makibalita mamaya ano
oo.
nangyari sa turn na yon. Bakit
Kasi
di malaman minions niya?
sketchy yung nangyari, hindi natin alam.
Mm-mm.
Walang
And
nahulog.
wala na naman na eliminate. Pero Staz taking 11 damage from relaxchill. I think MACnavy is a bit confident going into this match because he was able to deal 8 damage
Oh,
to
kanina.
Ragnaros there, and
Mm-mm.
Ragnaros dealing 11 damage to Staz. So he might think that he's actually pretty much favored for this round. But yeah, he needs to get some more scaling.
Tingnan mo, yung water droplets, ang cute na niya. I mean, he's cute,
Di
but
na siya
kung
droplet.
oo. Pero kung crackling cyclone sana yan, 'di ba? Kanina, kanina pa. But yun. McNavy decided just to settle with water droplets rather than getting a better elemental,
Or yung pinaginayangan nga natin, yung
yung
Cave
Hydra.
Hydra.
Oo. Kasi kasabay niya niyang mga yan, sana. And receiving jugs also, sana.
Possibly, meron na tayo mga 20-30 statted Hydra at this point of the game. Pero, hmm, sana. This is still enough for, at the very least, a top 4 finish for McNavy in order for him to prolong his top 4 streak.
So, ito na. He'll be facing Staz. He haven't faced, he fought Staz 4 turns ago.
Pero he was heavily favored. Pero yun nga, nasabi mo nga, parang
In-scam,
scam,
na-scam.
scam siya ni Staz. Let's see if
Kalek was
it
now,
will
but
happen again.
siyempre, hindi
Pero
pa
yun nga,
enough yung stats. With the Light Fang and Baran combination.
but surprisingly, this build of Staz is actually really weak, ha?
Oo, kasi parang nag-transition nga
And
siya.
I think
And
this might be lethal right here.
yeah, guaranteed lethal.
And that's a really good win for McNavy, finishing ahead of Staz, which probably means na masesement ni McNavy ang lead. Diba? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, true.
McNavy is possibly our
Leader
score
now.
leader right
Yeah.
now.
So with Gorebelly, MACnavy, and Ebanezpoopoo still on the game, si Gorebelly kaya niyang bumalik. And yung round 5 talaga yung decider. Ganda ng pagkakatahinong natin. Tournament.
Ay, mukhang nagpaparamdam uli ang Cave Hydra. Sana binili mo ko kanina pa. Andyan na siya uli. Looks like McNavy might contemplate into buying it, pero hindi. He took the +2/+4 instead and opted to just play the Bronze Warden already sitting in his hand.
So ito, he'll be facing Gorebelly who he fought 10 turns ago.
Ayun nga. The person to beat in this lobby is actually Ebanezpoopoo with that really early Nomi. I think swerte na rin si McNavy that he was able to dodge for this long. Diba? Pero actually just going over things. Yeah, if McNavy does indeed get eliminated here, he's going to be tied with Staz in first place. Pero lamang si Staz with
Sa
2
tiebreaker.
first place finishes
Ah, ah.
with tiebreakers. Diba?
So dito, if this shapes out, baka hindi natin makita si CaraCute sa broadcast feature natin kasi we might be choosing someone na may
He's still in the
possibility.
running.
Oo.
Diba?
But we'll see if there's still chance for Cara to get a top 1 finish here. Pero parang
Some
talaga may ano tayo, no? Broadcast blessings.
right, so
Ay, di.
hindi
Nawala na pala kay Felinelure kanina. Nag-jump pala tayo kay Ebanezpoopoo. Doon tayo nag-stay for long.
and this looks like a really close match. Diba? Some really unlucky attacks for MACnavy there. Yung mga tokens kinain yung ano. Pero I think this is an ensured win for MACnavy.
Oo.
Pero yun nga na lang natin.
Kung may
And
lethal.
yes,
May
that's
lethal.
lethal. That's lethal.
So,
Exactly lethal.
so ito pala yung reason why Gorebelly is managing to deal lot of damages from early turns kasi may gas coiler siya. Maybe meron din siyang Baron. That's why 35 damage taken by Felinelure.
Pero ito na ang pinakahihintay natin. Ebanezpoopoo sitting pretty with 35 HP and a 7 win streak. I don't, I think MACnavy could recall nung 7 gold turn, nakita niya na Ebanezpoopoo having already that very early Nomi. Medyo parang disheartened na siya sa
Oo.
magiging outcome nito. Pero I think he's still pretty happy to
And with the
maybe
second.
realizing later na he's already sitting at the top of the leaderboards now. Siya na nag-iisang first place with with
So,
this
parang ano,
consistent
no?
finishes.
Swinerte din si MACnavy. Struck of luck na ngayon, 9 turns ago si Galacron. Si Gorebelly 10 turns ago. So, he fought, hindi ko alam kung much weaker warbands on the previous turns. Pero, definitely, siguro kung yun yung mga nakalaban niya, baka patay na siya.
Para malay natin, baka something really bad happened to Ebanezpoopoo. Malay mo, wala siya nakuha elementals.
Walang
Pero
elementals.
we'll
I
see.
doubt that. Baka triple rag.
And
Oh.
ayan na.
So, hindi triple rag. Triple Nomi. With a golden wildfire elemental.
I guess, pwede lang sabihin ni MACnavy na swerte na siya na meron siya nabatay sa mga malalaking malalaking elementals. Ebanezpoopoo really high rolling this game, 'di ba? And surprising to to notice na yung Nomi nakisabay pa sa laki ng laki ng elemental siya, 'di ba? The Nomi is no pushover as well, 30-30. And it's a golden Nomi rin.
Yeah, it's a golden Nomi. So, this is first place finish for Ebanezpoopoo. Taking 7 and MACnavy getting second with 6 points. So, balikan na natin muna yung tawag dito. Score standings para
Yeah.
makita natin sino ba yung
Send rin pala yung link na Excel, Enli.
So, exclamation point standing for the players, for the viewers out there. Wait lang. Lalabas kasi sa Facebook ko eh. Sa broadcast. Wait. Oh. Chat natin si Weatherlight. So, ito. I'm showing the scores now. Nabaliktad na po ang mga pangyayari. Evanezpoopoo with 18 points. So, siya yung katay ni Staz. 19 points for MACnavy. And 15 points for Gia. So,
Pero actually, very close pa pala ang labanan.
actually,
Parang
top
hindi
4.
natin i-expect to.
Oo, yung 18 yung from 15 points onwards, yun yung mga close one. Yun yung may chance pa for top place finish. But definitely, MACnavy getting 4 consistent top 4 puts him into the leaderboards. 19 points. Well ahead of Ebanezpoopoo, Staz, and Gia. Pero yun, di ko alam kung sino yung i-feature natin dito. But pwedeng si Ebanezpoopoo cause you might be getting a good run sa tournament na to.
May chance pa siya to actually to take first, 'di ba?
Pero na-feature na rin
Eh.
natin siya kanina eh. So, kumbaga shared sila ni Felinelure. Anyway, pero kayo, chat, decide who will we spectate for the round 5.
Sige, tanungin natin ang chat.
Five minutes break. Sabihin ko, 5 minutes break muna tayo, Weatherlight, para lang din mabasa ng chat yung sinasabi ko kung sino ba ma-spectate natin. 12, 17. So, actually, lalagay ko na 7:35, so it's like 10 minutes dito sa side ko. But then again, mag-uusap pa tayo eh. So, yun. Super close tournament. So, eto, we're now back to the Hearthstone Battlegrounds Enli's Invitational number 1. We're on the round 5 already and there's a lot of people um, tying for the top 4. I mean top 1 with MACnavy leading, then Ebanezpoopoo, Staz, and Gia on the wings. But ngayon, we'll just spectate CaraCute to highlight her
By
gameplay.
popular
By
demand,
popular demand, we have a Twitch poll chat on the stream. Kaya medyo natagalan din tayo bumalik. But yun. Again, thanks to our partners, Route 39 and Baking Rocks for their foodies. Si Weatherlight, he haven't tasted it yet but definitely he'll try it later before we end the stream. So, kung yun yung hinihintay nyo, yung mukbang stream ni Weatherlight, mukbang food stream ASMR, na maya meron pa while we're closing the stream. Then, yun, I'll instruct the players to jump into their game. G. Ano ba masasabi mo sa 4 rounds natin na naganap?
actually very close nga yung laban. It's actually very entertaining to
O
watch.
kung pwede lang,
A lot of, a lot.
extend pa natin plus 4 rounds.
Wag na, hindi naman fair din yun para sa mga ibang
Oo.
competitors that have been doing well na for the
Oo.
for the first 4
That's true,
rounds, di
that's
ba?
true.
Pero yun nga, as we can see na na si MACnavy even not finishing first, he sits at the top of the standings with a very consistent top 4 finish in every single round, 'di ba? So
Oo.
di mo talaga matibag-tibag to si
So
MACnavy.
kung tawag dito, kung naglararang ka, that's a positive gains for sure.
Mm.
So, hindi ka nangingiyak-ngiyak sa negative MMRs na nakikita mo sa screen after every time.
Pero right behind him naman is si Ebanezpoopoo and si Staz with just 1 point behind.
Tapos si
And
Gia still on the running. Kayang-kaya pa
oh,
niya.
di rin malabo na Gia might be able to overtake them kung malasan tong tatlo at
Oo.
maging bottom 4 sila, di ba?
Yep, that's true. So, dito magkakaalaman how well they try to play this round 5 kasi this is the last one. Again, this is the second tiebreaker. So, although si MACnavy, if he tied with Staz or Ebanezpoopoo would be tiebreaker poorly kasi hindi naman walang
O
top
wala siyang
top
first
place
place
finish
finish.
yun.
So kailangan siguraduhin talaga na mas mataas ang ang standing niya dito sa dalawa. If ever he wants to keep that edge in the standings.
So yun.
Pero yun nga,
Pero yun, mahirap din yun talaga yung ginagawa ni MACnavy dito. And yun, Gorebelly playing two lobbies poorly pero nakabalik naman siya kung tutuusin 'di ba? With a not fifth place. Third place and another third place. Imagine kung kagaya niya si MACnavy na nasa top 4 lagi or kung siya naging top 5, fifth sa round 1 round 2. Sobrang lapit sana ng scores niya sa currently top 4 natin sa game na to.
I think nag-start ng final lobby. So we are
So,
jumping to
jumping
watch
into
Madam CaraCute. Ang
CaraCute.
Cara na nakakatakute.
So, hello YouTube. Kapag ito
Hello, YouTube.
naging nag-top place, ewan ko na lang sa inyo.
Hindi kasi daw
Mako-content kayo.
nagre-record si Cara. Baka daw kasi na mag-hang.
Oo.
Pero I think yun rin ang rason kung bakit nangihina si Cara. Hindi naka-hello YouTube mode.
Let's transition into the round 5 Elise. So, kindly break down Weatherlight what are the heroes they're playing. But, ito, walang
Cara
Pirates,
having a
walang
really
Beast.
powerful hero with Elite Star Seeker. Gia, interestingly enough, picking Barov. Nako, Felinelure with his signature Infinite Toki. Yan ang pinaka-favorite hero niya
Oo,
ever since the start of Battlegrounds.
pero syempre, as we all said, like Nose, pinaglumaan din naman ng panahon. But, tingnan natin kung it will...
Speaking of no, si Ebanezpoopoo is piloting the Zorgo now. Tapos sige, relax chill with George the Fallen and MACnavy as Galacron this time around. Staz on Omu and Gorebelly on Reno Jackson. So medyo madugo na naman tong lobby na to.
Nice workout.
CaraCute as Elise.
Pressure.
Dominant na naman kaya ang mech dito. Will MACnavy get
Di
his
natin
first
di natin
place
alam.
finish
Baka,
with a Galacron die roll?
or baka ang mangyari ngayon is since there's George and there are Murlocs, baka Murlocs naman makita natin, 'di ba? Kanina pa natin ina-anticipate ang Rise of the Murlocs. Hindi pa nagkakatotoo.
It would have been nicer to see Gia's point of view dito kasi Lord Barrow. But, wala. We'll just spectate CaraCute all throughout her lifeline.
Rough battle. Pick yourself back up. And
Gorebelly as Reno.
Pero a really, really unfortunate discover for Kara, but I think she can opt to take the 2 dragons here. Because not necessarily going for the dragon strategy, but that's a pair right there. Staz still at 2, so pero I don't think Staz had a token opener, so baka dehado siya dito sa board ni Kara. So but we'll see.
So, tingnan natin yung kay Gia na progress. His turn is at Morlocks too. And his he has a win streak. Tingnan natin kung mananalo ba o matatalo tong friendly wager. This is a friendly wager, by the way. This is a tournament. They're all friends. If they happen to meet again, they'll be friends.
Kara being offered a really, really sad shop here. Maybe considering to just tier up and sell the Homunculus and discover a tier 3 minion. Which mukhang yun ang gagawin niya. Pero kailangan bilisin Kara, baka mabusan siya ng time. And that's not a bad discover. Most probably the crowd favorite is the
The
best choice there.
easiest of pick there. Pero kung kunyari meron siyang ano bang demon yun?
Eto, may kidnap here.
Imprisoner. If may imprisoner or current... Oh, wow! Light pa!
Oh my god. Light
Ah!
pang for for
MACnavy.
MACnavy.
And that's
Nako,
a
and
tie!
that's a draw. That's a draw, which is
Oh,
really, really good for
wow!
MACnavy. Naku po, ayan na. Simula na
Ito
ng
na yung
scam
sinasabi ko
game na
eh.
tinatawag nila.
So, ito yung sinabi ko. If this was present on the Bob Stubborn earlier, the Soul Juggler is best pick, right? Pero ngayon, wala naman. Pero definitely, MACnavy is going to high roll this lobby. No Pirates, no Beast. He's at Tavern 3. Time to look for Crackling, Cyclone.
I think this is a good enough shop for Kara. I'm surprised that she didn't take the 5-4 and the 3-3 right there
So
para
this is
lang
a...
just have a solid board. But this is good enough. Diba?
Would you freeze for the mugs dito or 4-1 and 4-3 is the buy
tactical
here?
choice.
Possibly, I'll take the 4-3 here and just pass on the mug. Because on the following turn, definitely Kara has to tier and then discover a tier 4 minion. Pero I
So he
think
went split. He wants to rather buff the Crackling Cyclone and the crowd favorite kasi basing on what she's looking, maybe yung 4-3 Piloted Shredder won't stick that long. So he rather go for the permanent buff this turn kesa sa immediate tawag dito add of minions on board.
There are some really lucky attacks for Gorebelly there. Immediately trading the Spawnozout with the single lone 2-2 on Kara's board. Which unfortunately means an auto loss for Kara in
Oo.
that round.
True, cause Kara is
Pero,
behind on numbers of minions also.
Raging out there.
Oh,
pero ito
this
na.
is Toki.
Kara needs to get a really good tier 4 minion.
And I think with a Felinelure tearing up aggressively, he might be receiving damage again here.
Actually, very greedy of Felinelure getting an early tier 4. And
Oh,
against Elispa of all heroes, di ba?
that's true, that's true. So, dito, either Herald of Flame ang kukunin or the Wildfire Elemental. But, the Herald of Flame have a better body. And yung, kunyari, effect against a Morlock. Kasi, baka nga naman, mga cute Morlocks pa yung kay Feline Lure dito. So, snipe lang ng Herald of Flame.
Pero we'll see ano bang nangyari dito kay Felinelure. He hasn't been winning any of his matches, di ba?
Keep up
He's
the momentum.
he went for an early tier 4 pero he's sitting at 8th place. And looks like he's going to take another loss here
Yeah, and
even
this is
after
a
getting a really early Razor Gore. It might not be
will
ano, it
not
might not
grow.
be enough.
Yeah, this is a lot of damage. I think this is 15. Yeah,
And he's down
15.
to 6.
And I think that's last health for Feline Lure.
Your maneuvers
And
will
next
right.
person at 7th place has 4 times more HP than Feline Stocky. So parang medyo ano ata siya doon. Baka pinagsisisihan niya yung super duper early tier 5.
Oo, ako rin
Ah,
eh.
it early tier
I
4.
wouldn't do it.
So Kara in a really strong position now.
So, dito
Maybe
inisip
contemplating
niya,
if she wants to discover
uh,
a tier 5 minion already.
I think yun yung gagawin niya. Then sell the 2-2.
I didn't like
Let's
that one.
go.
Which is possible naman because she's facing against George the Fallen, which is not a hero known to have a really strong early or mid game
Uh-oh.
presence.
This is awkward. So, Malganis is the best pick here.
She's probably just going to take the best stats and just place it on board and then find the direction sooner or later. Yun nga, she's at tier she's tier 5 already at just 9 gold.
So,
Yun nga yung power nga ni Elise being able to cheat the tiers, 'di ba?
so let's review lang
Without
yung
being
ano,
punished.
yung kay MACnavy. He got a tie against Omu, against Taz. Then, against Gia, he just dealt 5 damage. Maybe because his minion quality is weak. I mean, the tavern
Keep up the
of the minions are
momentum.
weak. That's the reason why it's only 5. But definitely, scaling so hard na yung ano niya, Light Fang. And baka
Parang
dito... Sige, sure. Continue.
parang kasi ang binibigay sa kanya ng Light Fang every turn is 6 to 9 gold worth of buffs every single turn, 'di ba?
Oo.
So, yun din that's the magic of Light Fang.
And ang kagandahan pa nun, since he immediately get a Tavern 5 minion, so probably this turn meron ulit siyang T5 or T6. Diba?
Felinelure actually getting eliminated
Eliminated.
already.
That's
And
bad.
surprisingly to note din, CaraCute is being
Oo.
faced against Felinelure's
That's just 2
Ghost.
turns ago. Swerte ni Kara. Talaga
So
atang
Kara
may
might have
blessing.
the luxury of just
Tearing
going to
up.
tier 6
Yeah,
right
that's...
here and there and possibly discovering a Calicos and sealing the win for this lobby.
Oo, tama, tama. I think that's the plan. Kasi kanina, di ba, Kara dealt a damage on Feline Lure. Eh, mas mahina pa siya nun. Ano ba ang ikalalakas ni Feline Lure in just one turn?
A really unfortunate series of events for Felinelure, 'di ba? Kahit ang favorite hero niya wasn't enough to give him a really strong finish, 'di ba? Rather, a really poor finish on his part.
So,
Yun nga,
again,
tama ka na
Feline...
paglumaan na ng panahon ng
Uh,
ano.
so, again, Feline Lure would host, I mean, sponsor another Battlegrounds tournament. So, check my page on the following days kasi I might announce what are the mechanics, what are basta kung ano mang mga kailangang i-describe and details of the tournament kasi I'm planning it to be on the second week of December.
A really interesting choice of strategy here for CaraCute, opting to just stay at tier 5. Instead of discovering tier 6 minion and being already a tier 6 as early as 10 gold, diba?
Oh, so ano ba, di ko napansin what are the board improvements happen to Kara there. Ito lang, nabili lang yung
Bumili
Dragon.
lang siya ng Bronze Warden and a Draculid Enforcer.
Oh, okay, okay. So, yun. Sayang. If I were that, and of course, if Weatherlight is spectating me, he'll immediately tell that it's time for T-up. Kasi that's a safe play. And alam mo naman si Felinelure that time, that Ghost is much weaker than you.
And Kara still opting to stay at tier 5. Parang medyo, ano na to, she's overstaying her tier 5.
Welcome on Tavern 5.
Which is very surprising, di ba? Parang almost always the tier 6 tier is more often than not really, really greedy. Pero Elise is one of the few heroes that could actually transition to tier 6 very comfortably by being able to immediately discover tier 6 minion. Pero yun nga, ano nga ba na nangyayari dito sa board ni Kara?
So ito lang another insight. So with Felinelure ending his tournament life here, he's only at 9 points and he'll be the 8th place. Pero meron naman siyang first place finish kanina. So, yun. Minalas na lang din siya with Nose. Di ko lang alam, nakabili ba siya ng Tavern Perks?
Hindi ko sure eh. Baka pwede tayong makibalita mamaya after the tournament.
Oo.
Pero yun nga, I think sobrang sa Wild Rift yan, kaya ganyan.
So, di pa rin ako niya ina-add eh, kasi I'm just a gold pleb. Siya ata, ano na eh.
He's a very talented LoL player din for a very long time now. Actually, I think if I'm not mistaken, medyo kilala yan si Felinelure sa LoL community.
Felinelure din ba pangalan niya doon? Baka kasi iba eh. Kailan kaya ulit natin makikita si MACnavy? I'm excited to see.
Ano ng kabalbalan meron sa board yun, no? Ayun nga, Kara definitely taking a huge chunk of damage here. I think ito na
Sana mas niya yung Major Domo. Yan, that's a good one.
But I think this is Kara is definitely getting punished here for overstaying her tier 5 without actually getting any direction whatsoever. Diba? Parang ayun nga, parang nasayang yung pagsistay niya dito. Wala naman talaga naging improvement ng board niya. She's just shuffling around minions left and right.
Oh, that's true. And also, yun nga, in being blessed by 2 Felinelures in 3 rounds kanina, sobrang laking ano na yun. Advantage sana kay Kara.
Kara getting that Annihilon Battle Master, noticing that she's already down to 14 HP. It's going to be a sizable Battle Master. Pero it might not be enough to be able to secure her some breathing room, kumbaga, against Gorebelly
Gorebelly, yeah.
Jackson.
So,
Ah,
we're seeing
looks
elementals, but we're not yet sure if Nomi was the triple here. I mean, the gold one, the hero powered one, or a Bran or a Light Fang. But we want to see this turn. Wanna see
But
this.
Gorebelly already has 2 discover, so there's a high probability nga na he might have a golden tier 5 or possibly even tier 6 minion.
Yeah, so
diba?
Kara decided to freeze this for T6 discover. Pero yun nga, sobrang sayang, sana hindi niya kailangan mag-freeze ng ganito, 'di ba? If he's on T6 already, just roll and roll.
Of the momentum, friend.
Definitely Kara wasted her past two turns by dirtling around nga talaga
Oh, wow.
Then,
So that's a golden
oh,
Nomi.
oh no. And this might be game for CaraCute right here.
Oo.
This is a really sizable board for Gorebelly. If Kara isn't able to snipe that Nomi
Nomi,
Kitchen
he
Nightmare, I
needs to
think
kill the
ano
nightmare
na.
here. So that's good. No.
No, pero I think
that he's still
Kara
she's
still
still
stays
alive.
alive. even if the Nomi Kitchen Nightmare survives, she still go down to at least 2 HP.
O, 2 HP. True.
Pero yun nga, medyo hindi na biro yung board ni Gorebelly. Gorebelly apparently losing the previous round prior to facing Felinelure's Ghost.
And Staz.
Pero Staz being eliminated na rin at 7th place by no less than MACnavy
The
himself,
scammer
diba?
himself here.
So, si Ebanezpoopoo na lang nag-iisang pwede
Kalaban.
mag-dethrone kay MACnavy.
Actually, I'm not sure if, kunyari, si MACnavy miraculously end as a 6th place. Kaya pa ni Gia, di ba?
Actually, yun rin. Diba? Pero
hindi na
judging
yung
by
mangyayari.
the looks of things, para medyo malabo na yun.
So it's like MACnavy and Ebanezpoopoo showdown for the first place finish here. Tapos kapag siya yung nag-champion, di ko alam kung ano mangyayari sa goodies from Route 39. But he told me yesterday that he'll be coming on the Manila on January. So pwede naman niyang i-keep yun.
You just wait for January para bago niya matanggap yung goodies from Route 39.
Oo, and Baking Rocks din siguro if he got the first place. So, makita natin. Si Gia,
indecisive here.
Si Gia hindi niya nakalaban since
Yes, hindi
turn
na pa
one.
natin nakikita ang board ni Gia for quite some time. Yun nga, we haven't seen it ever, diba? This is going to be the first time we see Gia's board. Apparently, mukhang may direction na nga ito si Gia. There is a really lucky swipe there for Cara, pero medyo tagilid itong board ni Cara against Gia's mechs.
Oo,
diba?
although CaraCute have still a chance to live here, kunyari natira yung Anilan Battle Master and yung mga microbots na lang yung pinapatay nito, something like that.
Pero mukhang this is going to be really close pa.
So, depende
Really
kung
close.
makakatak pa si Foe Reaper. Makakatak pa siya.
Wow.
And that's
And Cara
that's a
getting
scam.
lucky with those last few attacks, diba? So Cara
Nakaswerte
still
pa.
gets to live another round. Pero
And
Gorebelly
Gorebelly
getting knocked out
by
by MACnavy.
Siyempre, alam naman natin yun eh. So, ang kailangan na lang
Pero-
is dodge MACnavy dito.
Pero knowing that Gorebelly had a golden Nomi, diba?
Golden Nomi.
Like it still wasn't enough to be able to at least, diba, survive
So, baka mga
even just
30.
a bit, diba?
13 na siguro mga average stats ni MACnavy. Kaya ganun. He took a 24 damage. So if Gia's facing a MACnavy now, or she'll be the one to die next turn.
Nagre-request sa ating viewers kapag mamatay na daw si Cara, we jump to Gia daw.
Yeah, we're going into that direction, pero CaraCute still managing to
Buhay pa
survive.
daw kasi si Cara, guys. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt.
Every placement have bearing. That's 100 pesos. And may konting spike ata in top 4, top 3. So, definitely, there's still reason to play this round 5 hard.
Of the momentum, friend.
So, Gorebelly with 6th. And I think that's him getting the 7th place.
Ito na yung hinihintay natin na somewhat Murlocs. Diba? Pero
With relaxchill as George.
looks like medyo parang tagilid ang stats ni relaxchill.
Magkaka-tiebreak pa ata itong si relaxchill and
And that's a
Gorebelly.
really good swipe for Cara. Pero oh no, mukhang this is it for Cara's chances with that Annihilan attack on the Deflecto bot being insufficient and Cara taking 8 damage and being eliminated.
So, let's jump into
from
Gia's
this
board.
lobby.
Kaya pa, di ba? Let's jump into Gia's board.
Okay, by popular demand, we look at Gia's board. Mga gusto makita ng mga ng mga tao paano sumugal to si Gia.
Oo.
Nasa guba ni Gia ang ang sugarol. Wala sa itsura, pero alay natin when it comes to Battlegrounds, magaling siyang sumugal.
Fight hard.
Ito na. Yan na po. So, MACnavy versus relaxchill. Easy pick. MACnavy.
Hindi
And,
natin alam, malay mo, bigyan swerte si relaxchill. He
as
gets
we
that
can see,
0.1%
oo
win
nga
rate.
Ebanezpoopoo facing Gia. So, as for Gia, medyo swerte siya, no? Na-dodge niya si scammer MACnavy. Sorry, if we're
Eh.
calling MACnavy a scammer, ano lang yun, mga friendly jokes na yun. Friendly. Alam naman niya yun, hindi yun as a...
Sabi nga sa actually, yung mga tao sa Twitch chat natin nagsasabi, Scam Navy. Max Scammer. Pero yeah, Ebanezpoopoo still alive, pero if Gia is able to eliminate Ebanezpoopoo in this round, this cements MACnavy getting the first place.
So,
Di rin
100%
pala
win for
push.
Gia.
Pero di rin naman push over itong lineup ni Ebanezpoopoo,
Oo.
pero really falling short lang rin talaga.
Maganda lang din talaga yung setup ni Gia dito with divine shields and big minions. Kasi major domo na golden and a faux reaper na malaki.
Pero baka may surprise pa, baka manalo pa si relaxchill, di ba? We don't know yet. You'll find out in a few seconds time.
Did Gia earn
And
3 gold?
patay si
Wala.
relaxchill.
Your minions really pulled.
So, relax,
So,
chill as 4th place.
tumama si Gia sa kanyang sugal.
Relax, chill as 4th. 3rd si Ebanezpoopoo. So, yung mga
Hindi
tao dyan sa chat, kindly check the standings na rin. Baka kasi mali yung mga input ko ng score. Baka mali yung final scores natin.
Baka may mabago pa.
So,
Or wag nyo nalang tignan rin kasi yung score. Yan, na ano tuloy kayo. Nasuspoil.
I didn't like that one either.
Not a push over build into kay Gia. There's a possibility that she might still even be able to steal the lobby, kumbaga, because she has some really good divine shield minions as well as some poisons minions. Siguro it's going to come down to kung sino lang siguro pinakaswerte talaga sa attacks.
That's what I would have picked.
Sinagad po ni Gia ang ang sugal. And of course, she's betting on herself.
oh, wow, that's nice. Kung ako, kay MACnavy ako susugal. Malay mo, manalo ako dito. Manalo siya, di ba?
And Mac Scammer with
A
the
tech card.
scam ghoul. Pero will it be enough, diba? Pero yun nga.
Yun,
this is actually-
that's bad because the Allmark, I still managed to leave one more hit. Pero may mga naman, may mga plants to kill the 6-3 mamaya.
Pero very exciting attacks, 'di ba? Parang pero medyo close pa 'to.
Oh, that's a good hit for Gia. So, wag lang maglabas si Imp Mama ng oo. Yun yung sinasabi ko eh.
Ayaw mong maglabas. And more tokens means more demons for the Imp Mama. Pero pinukpok niya
Yun!
yung
So,
defense
Gia would manage to win this, I think.
So, Max
Scammer
Scammer
will take a
gets
deuce.
scammed!
Although this is just one turn, maybe. Let's see. This is getting interesting. Although I think wala nang habol si Gia for the first place finish, but definitely beating this Scam Navi Galacron is a good feeling, di ba?
Pero wala naman siguro bearing na rin if Gia wins or loses, 'di ba? MACnavy is getting first place nonetheless. Pero
Pero
yun nga.
baka may bearing on getting second
Ah,
place.
so kampi na tayo kay Gia ngayon. We are
Oo,
now
kampi
Gia
tayo kay
Natis for this
Gia.
ano, for this lobby. So Max Scammer, sana matalo ka.
But unfortunately, nagche-check ako eh. Tingin ko, wala eh.
So Gia opting to create more poison murlocs, 'di ba? I'm pretty sure somebody out there is getting all giddy. Murlocs. Diba? Gia has now 3 murlocs and 4 4 mechs on board. Pero this is a really good upgrade for Gia right here.
So yung kay Gia, as we were watching her playing the last few turns of the round 5, ano lang, yung round 3 and round 4 kasi niya medyo pangit yung kinalabasan. Milaos at 6 and Isera at 7. So that's much worse than the other guy contesting for the second, Ebanezpoopoo.
And Mac Babies coming once again, removing the ghoul and transitioning into
Into Baron Divine Shield.
Baron and Divine Shield. Pero,
So, eto, what a finish possibly for MACnavy. Keeping himself parang under the radar. I'll just finish top 4, not first place on the first 4 rounds. And I'll scam them so hard on the round 5. Parang ganun yung naging kwento eh, no?
pero yun nga, ika nga ni Enrico, I scammed so hard. 'Di ba? Pero looks like this is it for
This is it.
Gia. I scammed so hard, sir. Ayun nga.
So, eto. Balik tayo sa caster's view muna and maybe Weatherlight will let us see him eat the round 39 good foodies. Pero yun, MACnavy definitely cementing his Hearthstone Battlegrounds. And this is not Hearthstone Battleground Showdown. Enli Invitation.
And it's Invitationals.
Number 1, Battleground. So, wala na tayong congratulatory note kay MACnavy. Hindi ako nakapag-ready. So, eto, balik lang tayo sa caster.
Bakit hindi ka nakapag-ready?
Nasa ano
Hindi
ako
mo ba
eh.
ina-expect na si MACnavy ang mananalo kaya
Hindi,
hindi
I
ka
mean,
nag-ready?
nasa OBS, hindi ko na nasulat. Parang kasi Arial Black lang yung font, parang walang kwenta. But, yun, dito tayo sa caster view. Up na si standing. Ito, pakita lang natin ulit yung standing. Let's just review. So, ito na po ang final result happened on this tournament with sabihin na natin muna first place. Congratulations to MACnavy winning the tournament itself with 26 points out of 28 and 35 out of 35. Then second is Ebanezpoopoo with second place coming with 23 points. Next one is Gia with 21 points. Then fourth one is Staz 19 points. CaraCute is 15 points. Then relaxchill at 14 points. Then Gorebelly and Felinelure at 13 points and 9 points respectively. So si Felinelure wasn't able to hit double digits. Ang lungkot. Pero syempre, despite ng gantong pangyayari, he's still going to sponsor us for another Battlegrounds tournament. Tama ba, Weatherlight?
Oo, actually nga, sobrang excited na ako dun sa tournament na yan. Actually, the best ko na sinasabi sa stream natin na excited ako para dun sa tournament ni Pila and Lure. Because apart from the prizes, the mechanics, the format is also a brand new take. Diba? We are taking the game to another level, kumbaga.
Oo, parang
Bilang
ano to?
PG.
Parang itong
Diba?
tavern brawl ng BG. Ganun yung pangyayari dito sa mode na iniisip namin na niluluto namin para sa iyo Hearthstone PH community. So yun, Weatherlight, just take a bite and let us know gaano ba kasarap yung Route 39 Onigiri.
Ito pa, ang dami pala nito. Kasi
So ano ba
maglalabas
kinuha
tayo
mo?
ng ano.
Spam ba yan? Karage or salmon? So alam mo naman siguro pag yung karage yung mas medyo makapal.
Napakita natin sa ano.
So I think that's a
So, yun,
spam.
yun. Oo, medyo mabigat siya, malaki.
Oo.
Si Whiff Puff, mahilig sa malaki. So Whiff Puff, order ka na nito.
That's a freshly made onigiri set every day. So as far as I
Tapos meron,
know,
it comes with some sort
yeah,
of
deep,
glaze.
yeah, glazed. So it's like a barbecue glaze something. Pero masarap, especially with the salmon, another layer of texture sa taste buds. So
Kalat
kung
ako dito.
order kayo sa Route 39, that's a anong tawag doon? Basta order kayo one day before, then sa kinabukasan, de-deliver sa inyo. Kung taga Manila area kayo, that's easy to schedule if coming from south like Las Piñas, Sucat, Alabang, yun, depende. Minsan kasi nagde-deliver sila. Kung may makakasabay para makatipid kayo, pwede yun. So, that's Route 39 and for the baking racks, yung banana cake nila, sarap. 'Di ba Bato TV, if you're there, I already shout out you kanina. Then his cookies, ano lang 'yan. Kaya natuto magganyan kasi broken hearted 8 months ago. Nagkaroon ng time para to learn a new skill and due to pandemic din, might as well explore a business side of other things. Oh,
Medyo speechless ako dito sa inunguya ako.
bakit?
Hindi ko alam kung gutom na ba ako at ganun lang talaga siya kasarap. Grabe.
I think masarap talaga yan. And especially with, I think Japanese rice yan eh. And yung hint of vinegar niya, sobrang sarap. So yan, takam na din ako. I've been ordering that since, I haven't ordered that since 2 months ago. Pero before, lagi kami nag-order. Not 2 months ago, nag-order pala ako ng Wagyu. Meron kasi silang mga parang experimentals pa na recipe. Wagyu beef ang nakalagay dyan. So, yun yung last order ko. Definitely, ang sarap ng Wagyu beef. But much costly kasi Wagyu beef yun eh. So, yun.
Pero ang sarap.
Masarap, di ba? Tingnan mo, nagsasalita si Weatherlight kahit ngumunguya pa. Sinong
Pasensya na si
lucky?
Enli to.
So, si MACnavy and sino Ebanezpoopoo ang meron. But we'll see. Malay mo si Gia magkaroon din. Kung tingnan natin. Kasi supposedly top yung 3 GCs yan. Pwede ko namang sagutin na lang yung kay Weatherlight kasi is co-casting with me. So si Gia magkakaroon din yan. Yun na lang. Sige. Para the top 3 have to experience the Onigiri set. Ano? Ano Weatherlight? Natapos mo na ba yung spam mo?
End natin yung stream para makakain na ako.
So, any other shoutout?
Joke lang.
Weatherlight? Any other shoutout, Weatherlight?
Sorry, tatapos ko ng ang pagngunguya. Wow. Tumalsik pa kanin mula
Counting
sa aking
kanin.
bibig.
That's a Japanese rice. And hindi lang onigiri set pa yung tawag dito. I-offer nila. Meron din silang curry, Japanese curry every weekend with tonkatsu. So, kung gusto niyo rice meal na legit na rice meal, yun. Pwede yun.
Pero yun nga, thank you rin sa mga viewers natin, sa mga sumusuporta sa stream. Diba? Very good turnout naman. Marami na nanonood, diba? Sana lagi supportan ang stream ni Enli para magkaroon pa ng more opportunities and more events like these in the future. Kasi yun nga, yung sabi nga natin kanina, we're gonna have another tournament being sponsored by none other by Felinelure and his group of companies nga. Diba? So stay tuned for that. We'll be giving out more details as the days go on. And Rap, thank you rin sa sponsor nga natin, Route 39 and Ah,
Breaking Rocks.
sorry. Baking rocks. Sabi ko sana bato rocks eh, pero
Oo.
redundant pala.
Oo.
Diba?
So,
Again, sa mga hindi pa tapos sa sa BG Fixera dyan, I think it's time for our lobbies, diba? Mga ilang araw tayo hindi nakakapag-lobbies
and
kasi
long
nga,
weekend, by the way. Bukas walang pasok. So, pwede talagang magpuyat mamaya. So, si Weatherlight, missing lot of BG since yesterday. Kaya, yan, lalaro yan for sure.
nami-miss ko na mag-BG, puro ako duels daw. Tapos syempre, si Enli, sobrang batak na yan kakakalaro, 'di ba?
Pero,
Yesterday, if I'm not mistaken,
hanggang
sabi niya
3.
1:30 daw matutulog na siya, pero walang niya, oh, mag-alas 4
3:13.
na ata siya nag-log out.
Oh, pero maglalaro muna ng constructed siguro off stream. I have to hit Diamond 5 at the very minimum on my Asia server. Sponsored ba pagkain ni Weatherlight? Yep, sponsored ang pagkain ni Weatherlight. Sponsored by Route 39. Kaya kinakain niya on stream yan. Allowed yan on stream. So, yun, with that, again, congratulations to our top 3. Si MACnavy, Ebanezpoopoo, and Gia. You guys played very well here in the Battlegrounds Invitationals of myself. So, with that, I think it's time to say good evening, good night, and have a great Sunday. See you again tomorrow if I'll stream standard. But again, see you din sa next future tournaments ng iba't ibang community leaders sa Hearthstone Philippines. Shoutout lang natin si Meatloaf who will have his first one on December 6 if I'm correct. Then meron din si Woohoo Bells. Yung kay Excelsior, alam niyo naman, meron naman din talaga every Friday night. Meron pang open to all, I think, na standard and BG, then the finals itself. Tapos, yun, yung tournament ni Felinelure, will definitely plan it out and hopefully to release the information this week. So, kung di pa ako
Pa-finalize
nakapag-post,
lang natin ng details.
kung hindi pa ako nakapag-post, siguro na-busy din lang ako manood ng Netflix. Kasi habol na ako sa startup. Matatapos na yung startup eh. This week, dapat pala manood na ako. So, yun. With that, I'm finally signing off and thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this tournament. See you again next time and thank you,
Guys.
Weatherlight.